Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Bud Light, the less filling light beer with the first name and taste. And by AT&T, the more you hear, the better we sound. Good afternoon, everyone. Don Cricky with Bob Trumpy on a beautiful New England day as the Patriots play their home opener in their silver anniversary season. The Seattle Seahawks come in a rolling 2-0, led by a free agent quarterback, Dave Craig, a gutty, innovative player. But he leads the team in rushing, Bob. I'm not sure that's what Chuck Knox wants.
No. Last week he had 2 touchdowns running the ball. You're right. That's not what the Seattle Seahawks wants.
The center.
You remember that Jim Zorn used to do this, and it kind of cost him a few years because of a broken ankle. They want Craig throwing it. They want somebody else running it.
One of the great backs in the league is out for Seattle. Kurt Warner, as you know. But Franco Harris is in. He knows about winning 4 Super Bowl championship years in Pittsburgh. Did they lose much, though, with the veteran Franco?
Oh, yeah. Kurt Warner could go inside, could go outside, could get the tough yardage. Franco Harris has just had 14 game situations, and that was all last week, since last December. He's still getting the cobwebs out, but he's got that mystique, and that's what Seattle wants.
The Patriots have scored only 1 touchdown in the last 6 quarters. Today they want to spring Tony Collins, their Pro Bowl runner. He's got to get yards for them to move against Seattle.
And he is a great running back. He makes great tacklers miss, and he's behind a huge offensive line. And on first down, I tend to think New England to give it to him a bunch.
Well, we're set to go now as both teams are on the field, remembering well last December when the Seahawks beat the Patriots, killing New England's playoff chances.
Ron Meyer would like to straighten that out, but he's got problems with his offense, as we commented, Don. He's got to get some people healthy up front and be in the right situation for New England to do all right. What Ron Meyer was telling us is that they have to avoid those second and long yardage situations. He said that the Seattle defense is a good defense first down. Second and third and long, they are a spectacular defense.
Good pass rush. They've been very effective. They shut down Fouts last week after he got off to a 10-0 lead with the Chargers. There, the deep man now. David Hughes, a power back. Ready to run it back. Cullen Bryant, the veteran who played for Chuck Knox for the LA Rams, is back with him. Tony Franklin's been a good acquisition. The Patriots didn't give up that much to the Eagles. An 8th-round draft choice. If he kicks a lot of points, it goes to a 6th-round draft choice. He's not kicked a field goal yet, but he was very effective in preseason. The barefoot kicker from Texas A&M hits the ball, and the game is underway. David Hughes takes it across the 20. Gets a channel, and the Seahawks come out with good field position. They call the special teams at Seattle the Special Forces. They've been very, very effective. Great play, covering kicks and blocking for the returners. Seattle on offense has Dave Craig, the free agent from now defunct Milton College, at quarterback. His runners are Eric Lane and David Hughes to start. Largent, that elusive split end, is out there. Paul Johns the other, and Charlie Young, a veteran tight end with good interior blocking. It's gotten a lot better this year. The offensive line play's been sound. 1st and 10 Seattle, 33-yard line of the Seahawks. David Hughes gets the ball, and Patriots with good pursuit splattered him at about the 35-yard line. Might have gotten 2 yards, no more. Ken Sims, Dennis Owens, and Toby Williams across the defensive front. They say of Sims, great potential, but that means you haven't done anything yet. Tippett, Nelson, McGrew, and Blackman are the linebackers. And the secondary has some good people, particularly Claiborne and the 2 safeties. Lippett's young, but he's come on. Secondary's good for the Patriots. So after a gain of only 2 yards, it's now going to be 2nd down and 8. Seattle, no score, opening sequence of downs after the kickoff. Craig rolling out, hands off to Eric Lane, and again, the Patriot linebackers so quick. Shed the blocking and make the knockdown.
Don, one of the tragedies of Kurt Warner being hurt and Zach Dixon being out for the Seattle Seahawks, they're basically going with 4 fullbacks. They don't have that breakaway back. It is a major concern for Chuck Knox, and he doesn't want to have to throw the ball at will against this New England Patriot team. And one of the matchups we want to watch is the offense of the Seattle Seahawks, Steve Largent against Ray Claiborne. They'll match up all day long.
Claiborne will go to whatever side Largent is on. He's on the lower portion right now. 3rd down and 8 from the shotgun. A blitz is coming, and Craig has a problem as the Patriots sweep him under back at the 20. Leading the charge was number 65, Doug Rogers, and Don Blackman, a very quick outside linebacker.
A loss of 16 yards from behind the offense. You see the games up front that the New England defense is able to run. If New England doesn't respect the running game of the Seattle Seahawks, this is going to be a very long day for Seattle.
Well, it's early so far, but that was, as you mentioned, Trump, a 16-yard loss coming on third down, and so now the punter is in. Jeff West to hit the ball for the Seahawks, standing back inside his 10. Irving Fryer, a game breaker, is back at his 42 for New England. He hasn't done it yet, but he will. A great player from Nebraska. The punt is high. It's an excellent punt. Driving Fryer back inside his 35, but he'll run it back. 40. Look out. Irving Fryer across midfield. 40. 30. He's going to go. Irving Fryer is tripped and goes down inside the 10.
No flags.
So the Patriots, who've not scored a touchdown in 6 quarters, look like they're ready to go in now if they can keep this momentum going.
Don, how many people who are the first overall pick in the draft start their careers as punt returners and kickoff returners for the New England Patriots? Irving Fryer obviously willing to do anything he can. He's been out with cracked ribs. Wow, that's a nice debut.
For $600,000 a year, they're going to give him the ball. A lot. Any way you can get it, you put it in the hands of the great one, however you have to. Now, the Patriots, with their first down of the game, will start from the 10-yard line of Seattle. First and goal. No score. Grogan at quarterback. Takes a look. He has a problem. Free ball. Seattle has the ball. And they're not done yet. Joe Nash, a Bostonian from Boston College, who's played some great middle guard, nose tackle for Seattle, came through and made the hit. Jeff Bryant was there, and also coming was Action Jackson, number 55, Michael Jackson.
Don, I think they got impatient. They got Tony College. You can see Nash coming 72, Bryant from the outside. They didn't fool anybody. You got Tony Collins in the backfield. I think New England was impatient. They wanted to get the thing in on the first play, which is not a very smart thing to do.
That has been one of the criticisms of Grogan. He tries to get it all at once. Ron Myers said we had to settle him down, realize it's a gradual process getting in the end zone. He's so competitive. So the Patriots, unable to stand prosperity, give it right back to Seattle, and now the Seahawks go first and 10 from their 20. Running with the ball is Eric Lynn. Look at these sticks. That was Andre Tippett. A big, rangy outside linebacker from Iowa who really puts the lead down.
All right, I'll make the point again. There is absolutely no respect for the Seattle running game at this point. You're going to see linebackers being across the line of scrimmage and being across the line of scrimmage in a hurry until someone breaks one up through there.
They talk about the two things you can't coach, Trump, speed and luck. Seattle doesn't have a lot of either on the flanks, but they've got a guy that'll get it if he gets open. The Patriots have their speed back on the flanks. Morgan will be back in. Here is a throw by Craig, a timing pattern and going for the ball, but unable to get it is Steve Largent. Claiborne against him. Claiborne says he'd rather play against a burner, which you know he's going to do. He said Largent is so tricky, you never know where his pattern's going to take him.
That's a matchup that will occur all day long. The New England Patriots do want Ray Claiborne on the best receiver of their opponent. This is just called a fade pattern. And you line up far enough inside. When the ball is thrown, then you go outside. But watch Ray Claiborne. Reading the eyes, that's not pass interference. If you wave two hands in front of him, that's pass interference. One hand, it is not.
Chuck Knox, the Seattle coach, talking about the 140 yards a game he has to get from his other people now that Kurt Warner is sidelined for the season. 3rd and 10 coming up as Craig goes from the shotgun. Over the middle, he has got his man. Paul Johns turns the flank. He's in open field, and Paul Johns in a sprint down the sideline. Breaks it across the 45. He's out to the midfield stripe, and he has on a 3rd and 10 a big gainer and a first down for the Seahawks. Well done by Seattle.
You're right, throwing the ball underneath. Now they'll get some respect from the New England defense. 26 yards on the pass and catch. You can see Paul Johns bouncing off a linebacker. And watch the blocking out here in front. 33, Dornick gets one. It looks like Bryant gets one. And Johns turns up the field with great speed.
Rick Sanford finally gets him out of bounds, but it wasn't easy. All the way out to the 46-yard line, just beyond it. 1st and 10 Seattle. No score in the first quarter. Craig looking deep. Sideline pattern again. He goes to Johns, and again Johns goes up and comes down with the ball.
Now you see the pattern that Seattle would like to at least explore. You got Ray Claiborne on Largent. They put Lippett on Paul Johns, so obviously Lippett's going to get a lot of action today. They want to stay away from Ray Claiborne.
Paul Johns with a 12-yard reception there, trying to advancing the ball down to the 43-yard line of New England. Chuck Knox pacing the sideline. If his Seahawks win today, it'll be the best start in the history of this franchise. Very aggressive, well-conditioned, in-sync team. All aspects good in this ball club. Craig with the hard throw, the sideline pattern to the long side of the field, and Largent coming back at the ball, catches it again. So now the Seahawks on the right arm of Craig start to move the ball into the New England area.
And also, that's now 94 straight games that Steve Largent has caught at least one pass for the Seattle Seahawks.
Dave Craig says he wants to get his pass production numbers up. Completing 48% coming in. He's got the numbers up today, though. 3 of 4 for 49 yards.
They can't run it yet, though. And that's the personality of this football team.
He sure can run it. Here he goes now to the run. David Hughes turns the corner. Good play. Lippett comes up from the corner. Ronnie Lippett chopped him, but there was a game which appears to be enough for the first down, so Seattle moves the chain markers again.
My opinion alone, but I'll tell you, I think the New England Patriots have the best 4 tackling defensive backs in the NFL. You see their linebackers and defensive linemen try very hard to strip interference in front of running backs so that the defensive backs can make the tackle, and they can do it. They're great open field tacklers, all 4 of them.
3 of them are #1 draft choices in that New England secondary. They've got good people there. Seattle now looking to challenge. Has the ball 1st and 10, 33-yard line of New England. Beautiful day in Foxborough. Misdirection play. Hughes comes back and cuts against the grain. The pursuit started to flow the other way. David Hughes comes back, gets a good gain. He's inside the 25-yard line. He got 10.
Don, that was a play that I think we've seen Franco Harris run for years. It's a delay handoff underneath, on top, but you see the 2 pulling guards in front of him. It's a real delay, and it sets up the defense for good blocking scheme. 50 McGrew on the tackle. A nice 10-yard gain.
Ron Essink, Reggie McKenzie, Blair Bush, Bob Pratt, and Steve August across the defensive front. David Hughes, the offensive front, as David Hughes is looked at. Banged up on a jarring tackle. He's to the sideline now. Like Franco is in the game. Franco Harris. Franco gets the ball and loses it. New England has it. 3 possessions and 3 turnovers if the Patriots have it. Let's see.
Seattle got it back.
They're going to say Seattle had it. Patriots thought they did, but Dave Craig fought for it and got it back.
Don, you and I had a conversation last night with Chuck Knox as to any problems with Franco Harris. Watch the way he takes this ball. That's the way he's taken it for years from Pittsburgh. Seattle likes to take the ball with the elbow up. And apparently last week in Craig and Franco Harris, Chuck's theory was, look, as good as he is, give it to him the way he wants. Well, that time you could see Craig reach, and the connection was not quite made.
Tippett had his hands on the ball, but Craig got it away from him before he could tuck it in, so Seattle maintains possession and now has 2nd down and 13. He had 2 turnovers already in this game. Craig looks up the middle. Good coverage by the Patriots. Ronnie Lippett was on Paul Johns, and the ball skips into the end zone. In explaining his running, Dave Craig says when the arm doesn't work, you got to make the feet do it. Last week, you mentioned Trump, he scored 2 touchdowns, one on a 37-yard gain.
You don't want that, though. You end up with a guy...
you get a touchdown, but sooner or later, your guy ends up in the hospital.
You're right. He's in the training room all week. You don't want that to happen. You want to protect that guy, and you want to have people around him that can run the ball. But as we said earlier, the Seahawks have 4 fullbacks.
Chuck Knox there's the only NFL coach to take 3 different teams to the playoffs. The Rams, the Bills, and now the Seahawks.
Patriots now with a 4-man front, 6 defensive backs, Don.
3rd and 13. Nice defensive play. Rick Sanford, former number 1 out of South Carolina, number 25, went up and tipped the ball away from a young wide receiver from Duke, Chris Castor. And so the Seahawks drive stalls, and now they have 4th down coming up, and they're getting ready for a 42-yard field goal attempt. Line of scrimmage the 25, so the hold will be at the 32 or thereabouts. Place kicker is a very good one. Norm Johnson, a big guy from UCLA. 5 for 6 on field goal tries this year. Hit all 7 extra points.
Number 9.
He's got a great holder in Zorn. He's also got one of the best long snappers in the business in Blair Bush getting it back there. He'll have it laces facing the goalpost. Perfect for Zorn.
Kick has plenty of drive, and it's right through the middle. And so the Seahawks, after giving the ball away on a turnover, take it back, drive down the field. And so the first points of the game give Seattle a 3-0 lead. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy back at Sullivan Stadium, Foxborough, Mass., where Norm Johnson is ready to kick it off now for Seattle after just hitting a 42-yard field goal for the first points of the game. Irving Fryer, Greg Hawthorne, and John Williams are back to await the kickoff of Johnson, and here it is. Good one. It's going to carry way into the end zone, and they'll not bring it out. Irving Fryer downs the ball, and on the touchback it comes out to the Patriot 20. New England had a golden opportunity. 42-yard punt return by Irving Fryer. Brought it down close. Couldn't get points, though, and Seattle comes back the other way and does it. Grogan at quarterback, Collins his main runner. Ramsey his H-back, really a tight end in motion. Starring and Morgan, good speed in the flanks, and Lynn Dawson's the tight end. They're really playing with 2 tight ends and 1 running back. Offensive line, some say, could be the best in football. There's none better than left guard John Hanna. 1st and 10, New England from the Patriot 20. Handoff goes to tough Tony Collins. Doesn't get much. Seahawks say the key to this game defensively is to jam the front, seal off the blocking areas of the offensive front of New England, and make those runners go east and west. Jacob Green and Jeff Bryant on the ends with Joe Nash in the middle. There's 3 men. They're tough.
Great pass rushers, all of them. Linebackers very active, also big. Rather unusual today in professional football to find linebackers of that size. And the defensive backs, that's a misnomer. They'll at times play 8. There's only 4 listed there.
2nd down and 7. A hard yard comes ahead, and it's Tony Collins fighting for it as he's hit at the 26 and gets maybe to the 28-yard line. Bruce Schultz knocked him down.
Oh, no huddle. Going right at it. No huddle.
Whatever it takes to win. 3rd down and 2. Grogan takes a look and swings it out, and it's going to be incomplete, and the Patriots have to punt the ball.
There appeared to be some confusion there. Now, obviously, that 3rd down play was designed to keep the 5th or 6th defensive back off the field for the New England Patriots, but it just flat didn't work. Someone didn't get the communique there. Let's see if Steve Grogan goes to Ron Meyer and wonders what happened. The receiver on that side kind of just floated out there and didn't do anything. And you can see Grogan looking for him, waiting for him to do something. And then the alternate, of course, appears to be a screen. Nothing. That's 2 great opportunities totally missed.
Luke Pestridge, who came in from Denver, had a great punter here last year. Rich Camarillo out with a knee injury. Here is a long punt downfield. And the ball is taken to the 29-yard line. Paul Johns downs it there, and there the Seahawks go on offense once again. 43-yard punt, no return. Seahawks leading 3-0. Have it when we come back. Back and ready to go. 65 and sunny. Opening day at home for the Patriots. Right now, the Seattle Seahawks have the ball, leading the game 3-0. Dave Craig at quarterback with a 1st and 10 call from his 30. Handoff goes, and it's across to the 32-yard line. David Hughes runs the ball there. Coming up to make the tackle was an inside linebacker, Larry McGrew, who's called on to start now for the Patriots, Trump replacing a tremendous player for New England, Clayton Weissoon, is out with a knee.
Matter of fact, they lost their 2 starting inside linebackers from last year, Rembert and Weissoon. That's 50% now of your linebackers and McGrew can play. He can play inside. He can also play outside.
2nd down and 7 now for Seattle.
Largent.
Craig rolls, Sims after him, and Craig gets ahead for maybe a yard and gets up, which is the important thing.
Yes. On the roll, Largent was to the near side of the field, and once again with that single coverage, man-on-man with Ray Claiborne, Largent was coming across the field. You'll see at the top of the screen, the matchup should be coming from the left-hand side. You'll see Largent there, and Ray Claiborne is right behind him. Should appear here in just a second. There he is right there. You see Claiborne right behind him. That's why Craig kept the ball. He had nobody to throw it to.
Kenny Meyer, who worked with Joe Namath at Alabama as a quarterback coach, is the quarterback coach with Seattle. He says the greatest attribute of Craig is his ability to see the whole field. He doesn't miss one thing out there. When you roll him out, he checks everybody out before he releases. Craig throwing now, going long, and he has Paul Johns. Another perfect pass-catch combination. Craig to Paul Johns on a 3rd and 6 play. The Seahawks strike long, get the 1st down. 23 yards.
23 yards on the catch. This is the other side. This is why the Seahawks are going to Paul Johns. Look at that man-to-man bump and run. Claiborne and Largent. It's going to look like a do-si-do all day long, I think, for both of those guys.
Right now, Seattle comes out of the huddle with the ball at the 37-yard line. It is going to be 1st down and 10. Seahawks lead the game 3-0. Franco Harris turning upfield, and he gets very little, maybe a yard. Harris is a big back, but he's not a power back. Never has been. He's a cut-back runner. That's been his strength in all those championship years at Pittsburgh.
Forget the yards. He got the good handoff, and that's the most important thing. And I tend to think that Chuck Knox put him in there. That's the same play that they called before. Wanted to make sure that he could get the handoff from Dave Craig.
Gain of just over a yard on the play, and trying to make it 2nd down and 8. 2 yards more, and Franco becomes the 2nd man to get 12,000 yards rushing career.
Largent.
Long ball, man is open. Touchdown, Seattle. Paul Johns is running the near flank and coming off his Darrell Deep Heat Turner in the game, the rookie from Michigan State, getting one-on-one coverage. They doubled up on Johns because he's been killing them, and Deep Heat Turner scores again, a guy averaging over 34 yards a catch.
Don, this young man has 5 catches now for this 84 season, 3 touchdowns. You saw Craig standing there with great pressure. Look at that stride. Largent was open too. But
Roland James, a good safety, was stuck with him one-on-one, and he couldn't run with him. And so, Darrell Turner, a 2nd-round draft choice from Michigan State, who burned up San Diego last week. Deep Heat, they call him, goes into the end zone again. The guy can't be caught one-on-one. Extra point is up, or is it wide? No good, they rule, and so it's going to be a 9-0 game.
4:45 left to play in the 1st quarter as they come back up the field. The Seattle Seahawks 9.
Seattle looking good, despite the projections of Trumpy. Just as they did when they blew out Cleveland and blew out San Diego, the Seahawks are looking tough in their 3rd game today, leading 9-0 as Johnson kicks it off again. Line drive, tough to handle. Irving Fryer on the 2-hop. 20. And across to the 27-yard line. Now New England's offense hasn't been very effective, comes back out to try one more time.
Don, at the top of this broadcast, I said I didn't like Seattle's chances. The cards had to fall right for them. Well, so far in this 1st quarter, they have fallen right. The Seattle defense is a very opportunistic defense. And if you can get New England in a situation where they're either 2nd long, 3rd long, or behind, now they bring in the 6 and 7 and 8 defensive backs, and now Seattle is playing its game.
Grogan at quarterback. Been at it a long time, 10th year out of Kansas State. Strong arm and good wheels before the knee injuries. Not good enough to escape the big pass rush. Jeff Bryant a-coming.
Is taken down by Jeff Bryant, number 77.
Number 1 draft choice out of Clemson.
God, he's beaten Brian Holloway one of the New England Patriots' best offensive linemen.
He went to the Pro Bowl, Brian Holloway.
Yes, he did. And now Seattle is getting some emotion on their side, and now we're going to have to count defensive backs. It's second down and about 15. You see Gaines. Let's see if we can count them here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like 4-man rush, 1 linebacker, and 6 defensive backs. This is Seattle's game now.
Lone setback is Tony Collins on 2nd and 15.
Fumble!
Another free ball. It looks like Grogan. We'll see.
What's going on here?
Grogan has it, but the misconnection between Pete Brock and Steve Grogan, and the Patriots lose it down. They do keep the ball, but they have 3rd and long.
The Patriots have shown no semblance of mentally being in this game. One of the things that Ron Meyer has tried to do with his football team is mentally prepare them to play. They've shown no emotion. They have absolutely no togetherness to this point. He's got to be very disturbed.
Kansas City, a surprise team with a 2-0 record with a surprise score. Leading their arch rivals, the Raiders, 3-0. The Jets, playing at Giant Stadium, have moved in front of winless Cincinnati, 3-0. Now on 3rd and 15, Grogan gets time. He looks deep. He throws. Going for the ball. It's Starling. He was there. The ball comes in a little bit high. Grogan is leveled. Jacob Green put him flat in his back, but he did get away a pass that was very nearly a big connection.
But that's important. That pressure by Jacob Green. Keep people in Grogan's face, make him throw it a little quick before he's ready to. No, I don't think they've gained a yard. They haven't had a first down, and there's how much? There's 3:22 left in the first quarter. This New England offense, they shouldn't even have showed up so far.
You'll remember Irving Fryer's punt return down to the Seattle 10-yard line, and 1st and 10. The Patriots quickly turned the ball over on a fumble. Grogan was sacked. Prestridge punts the ball down. Here's a man in the year of living dangerously. Kenny Easley tries to run it back. He did well to hold on, and again, Seattle has good field position. The American League West has the most exciting pennant race in baseball, and it's coming up on NBC Sports. Here's a preview. So far, the Patriot players have shown up, but not the offense. They've been unable to move the ball, and Seattle has it again with a 9-0 first quarter lead. 1st and 10, Seahawks. Craig with 1 back. Goes to Franco Harris. Shuffling those feet, and then the acceleration. He takes the ball out to the 45-yard line, and Franco's now over 12,000.
Certainly a milestone, isn't it? Only the 2nd back in history, regardless of how he gets it. I mean, the one thing about Franco Harris is his durability.
Well, Jim Brown criticized him for running out of bounds, but he's played really 14 years. He's had a whole season of playoff games.
Absolutely right. And remember, too, that he did not have a training camp. He's had no real physical contact since last January, so he's trying to make up for a lot of lost time.
He came in and told the Seahawks the record would be nice, but he said, I want to go to the Super Bowl with you guys. They really like that. Here's Franco now trying to change direction. And coming up is Dennis Owens, the middle guard. Shedding the block of the Seattle center Blair Bush and making the knockdown, so it's going to be 3rd and 6.
Don, the Seahawks right now can keep giving it to Franco Harris or keep giving it to a running back because of that 9-0 lead. And so far, New England, as you said, the offense has not shown up. Until New England does something offensively, what Seattle doesn't want to do is turn the ball over now. Just be very conservative with it.
Shotgun on 3rd and a long 6 for the Seahawks from their 45. Craig takes a look in the flat, timing pattern again, and Paul Johns comes down with the ball.
Craig's pass is complete.
Ernest Gibson, an extra DB in the game for New England, but to no avail. An 8-yard gain on the play.
Once again, it looks like single coverage all over the field. And this is a little pick play. They just run Johns out in the flat. A good pickup. First down for the Seattle Seahawks. And they're very content to just take their time down the field.
Seahawks have gotten a couple of real good ones from Tulsa University. Largents from Tulsa, and so is Paul Johns. And it's now 1st and 10. Craig Rowland now dropping back to a screen, and a well-executed play it seemed. Still running with the ball is Mike Tice, a backup tight end. They'll spot it about the 41. Now, while we have a moment, let's go to NFL 84 in New York.
All right, Don, the Meadowlands, the Jets have taken the lead over Cincinnati. Kirk Springs a 74-yard return after a Jet goal line stand forced the Bengals to kick a field goal. That set up a Pat Leahy field goal, 39 yards. The score now is 6-3. The Jets lead it.
Thank you, Bill. And here in Foxborough at Seattle, 9-0 over New England. Craig throwing the ball very effectively. He's put it up 10 times. He's hit 7 for 123 yards. And a long ball touchdown to the rookie, Darrell Turner. Handoff on 2nd and 2. Patriots throw it back. We'll see where the ball is spotted. They had to get down to the 36-yard line. David Hughes, a big power back, runs the ball hard. They're really running with 5 different backs, although one of them is not playing today. Zach Dixon's out with a knee injury. Chuck Knox said after the Seahawks lost Kurt Warner, he said, "We just beat Cleveland 33-0, and great as Kurt Warner is, he didn't play one play on defense, and we shut him out. Now one play on special teams, which really keyed the victory. We all have to do a little bit more." The good news about Warner is the doctors are extremely pleased with the surgery. They say he's going to be back and in great shape next year.
Don, you hear that hitting? Outstanding hitting on both sides of the line of scrimmage.
David Hughes runs the ball. Tough Hawaiian player comes down close to the first down yardage. And the first quarter comes to an end. So Ron Meyer did not get the results he was looking for through the first 15 minutes. We'll be back. Coach Knox and Coach Myers. So far, Chuck Knox's Seattle Seahawks have been the dominant team. And again, they have good field position, but they have to punt the ball as we open the second quarter. They were inches short. Looked like they got the first down, but the spot was short of the mark.
Yeah, they got a very rough spot. Look at that. You wonder why the score?
West punts the ball, hits it high, and it'll angle into the end zone for a touchback. Knox often talks about making your opposition go the long field, and the kicking game does that. It has so far today. The Patriots get the ball back, but they'll start out at their 20 with 80 yards to the end zone. So Seattle with a 9-0 lead, and Grogan on the Patriot offense tries again. Grogan's had a tough day at quarterback for New England. 2 fumbles and 2 sacks. He tries to move the Patriots again. They trail 9-0 now as we're early in the second quarter. Handoff. Tony Collins gets ahead maybe for 2 or 3 yards, running into the left side of the Seattle defense. Shelton Robinson, a big free agent linebacker from North Carolina, number 57, sweeps him under.
Don, there's no reason for New England to panic now. They got to go back to their game plan and just establish something at the line of scrimmage. They've got to be patient. They got 3 quarters to get back in this ball game. I don't think offensively they can play any worse than they did in the first quarter. They got that much to build on.
Well, they got speed on the right flank now. Morgan is out there and Starring on the left flank. Both can go deep, and they're doing it right now. Morgan. Almost intercepted. Keith Simpson, the left side cornerback, came up on the ball, and Morgan did well, turning defensive back to keep him from catching it.
No, it's interesting. New England has thrown the ball to the outside and to the outside exclusively. They've not tried to throw inside. Last week, Miami, here we go with a quick huddle play. I'll continue in a minute.
Grogan twice now has put his team in alignment without a huddle.
4, 6, 8.
3rd and 7. They're trying to get Seattle, keep them from getting those people in the game.
They only have 10 men on the field, Don.
All they needed.
I repeat.
That might make it even.
Yeah, because of the quick huddle and the quick play at the line of scrimmage, Seattle was trying to get their 5th and 6th defensive backs in. They only had 10 guys on the field, still got a sack. 3rd sack of the day for Seattle. They got nothing.
I used to work for Bud Wilkinson at Oklahoma back in the 50s. He'd run 4, 5, 6 plays without a huddle. Patriots might go back to huddling.
I think it'd be a great idea.
At least talk this thing over. They're going to punt it again, and that field position again is going to be good for Seattle. Prestridge in for the injured Camarillo, standing back inside his 5-yard line to punt the ball for New England. Gets off a good one. Here is Paul Johns, who does it all, coming back on the return. He coughs up the ball, but he...
No, Seattle ball. Oh, wait a minute. He didn't have possession. The official says New England's going to get it, but he didn't have possession on the sideline.
Now he's saying Seattle's going to get it.
He pointed the New England way.
I know he did. Now
he changed his mind. Once this ball gets to the sideline, it's the last team in possession. And in order to... Okay, they're going to give it back to Seattle. Once this ball goes out of bounds, before anybody can retain possession, he's got to have control of it. But watch when the ball... He steps out of bounds right there. It's Seattle's ball going this way.
Seahawks dominating this game. Maybe they'll be like golfers, give strokes. They played with 10 guys the last time. This ball's been all over. It does draw a crowd, but it's Seattle's once again. It went out of bounds.
He tries.
Greg James, that is. So the Seahawks will have it 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line when we come back.
And has not had a first down, and look, there's no coach rallying the troops over there on the sideline. They're just sitting there basically by themselves.
Where they played, nobody will talk to them.
Well, somebody should.
Now it's 1st and 10, 2 arms on the ball. It's been popped free a number of times. A short gain for Seattle. Running with the ball was Eric Lane. Today's game is brought to you by Chevrolet, with the performance, the style, the innovation, the quality, and the value that make up today's Chevrolet. By Stroh's and Stroh Light, proud sponsors of the Stroh's Run for Liberty. And by Apple, makers of Macintosh, the computer you already know how to use. We have 12:53 to play in the first half. Seattle has the ball, 2nd down and 8, 25-yard line of New England. Seahawks lead the game 9-0. Don Criqui with Bob Crumpy as Dave Craig takes a look. Largent almost had it. He lost it. And then Ernest Gibson, 43, almost had it.
Something wrong with that pattern. You had Paul Johns and you had Steve Largent within 5 yards of each other. Kansas City still leads the Raiders 3-0 now.
From the 25.
This can't be right. I don't know what the design of the play is, but watch out close. Largent 80, and right above him, just outside the 20, is another receiver. But that's the first time we've not seen Ray Claiborne on Steve Largent. As a matter of fact,
now extra defensive backs come in for New England on 3rd down and 7. Craig sets up in the shotgun. Looking deep. Here's the rush. He's got a problem. Gets it away. It's going to be intentional grounding. Intentional grounding is an expensive call. You lose the down. That's the call.
That's an unusual call. Generally, the quarterback...
One of the most expensive in the game. It's a major penalty and a loss of down.
Now, the official will say, here's the call.
Intentionally grounding the ball. Number 17. Loss of down at the spot of the foul.
Generally, the official, you can see where he's right behind him. Now, his idea is to protect the quarterback. That's his responsibility. When he gets his eyes off of it, you see 32. There's someone there to catch the ball, but he ruled it intentional grounding, and that's an expensive play.
So now the ball's at the 39-yard line of New England.
For Seattle.
And Irving Pryor standing back, although West should hit it in the end zone. Chicago, we saw them last week, Trump, and they are tough.
Oh, killers.
They got a defense that puts people right in the emergency room.
You got it. They need more than one stretcher when you play the Chicago Bears.
West angling his punt. It's a high one. Might be well done, though.
That's a good one.
It really is well done, as it's down at the 7-yard line. Coming down to grab the ball was Fred Young, a standout rookie special teamer. Marino and Duper lead the Miami Dolphins against the Indianapolis Colts next week. Here's a preview. Chuck Knox, he paid his dues, 10 years an NFL assistant before he got the Rams head job. He's been a winner everywhere he's been now in his 12th year as a head coach. As New England goes 1st and 10, Tony Collins comes ahead to the 15, but a penalty marker comes in, often indicating a hold.
You know, Don, for years this New England football team has been accused of just not showing up some Sundays.
Holding's the call.
There's no way to judge there's no way for any coach to judge whether or not his team is going to play with enthusiasm. I talked to Ron Meyer before the game, said he had a decent week of practice, but these guys look like they've been on a bus for a week.
Number 88.
Saw Ron Meyer
Still first down.
talking to Chuck Knox before the game. I said you guys ought to slug it out here and save the wear and tear on the players. I can't handle Knox. How big he is. Derek Ramsey called for the hold.
He's pushing the guy in the back, got his arms around him. They called him for holding. Oh, the Patriots going the wrong way again.
Firing and falling back are the Patriots as they're now back inside their 5 with a 1st and 14 coming up. Tony Collins going wide, working hard to get maybe 4 yards out to the 8. 1 o'clock games in this 3rd week of play. Kansas City standing tall at Arrowhead Stadium, leading the Raiders 3-0 now in the 2nd quarter. Chicago with another field goal by Bob Thomas extends its lead over Green Bay to 6-0. The Jets still holding to that 3-point lead over Cincinnati, a team Trump that was supposed to be good, but the Bengals haven't won yet.
You all right?
Minnesota and Atlanta. Not much offense around the league today as the Vikings lead 6-3 in the 2nd quarter. Tony Collins runs again behind the right side, the power side. John Hanna pulls and gets in front. Called the offensive line of the New England Patriots the Foxborough Skyline. They're huge. Brian Holloway, the left tackle's 290. Hanna's down to 265, has played at 290. Wooten's 275. Darrell Haley, the right tackle's 275. But it's all statistics unless you start to move the ball.
Patriots with an opportunity here for their first down of the ball game.
Third down and 1 for Grogan in the offense. Still the one back. Still it's Tony Collins.
Go.
Big defensive play. Shelton Robinson comes in along with Bruce Schultz, number 58, a Texas linebacker. And again, the Seahawk defense slaps back the Patriots on a 3rd and short.
Don, we've jumped on the New England Patriots, but let's give credit to the Seahawks coming into this ball game. Their opponents had converted just 3 of 22 third downs into first down. So this is a team that they're not playing out of character. They are a great team on 3rd down.
So now the Patriots have gone through 7 quarters of football with only 1 touchdown. Jets now leading 16-9. Freeman McNeil just went in from 15 yards out after Ken Anderson threw to James Brooks for a Bengal touchdown. Once again, the punt by Prestridge. It doesn't carry far. We'll see what kind of a hop it takes. A good one for New England. It'll end up as a major league punt rolling all the way down to the 29 and 28 yard line.
We got a flag.
Penalty markers down and a holding call is signaled against New England.
That's unbelievable. On a punt? Now see, special teams are generally the indicator of the attitude of your football team. Most of the guys that play on special teams, Don, that's their only responsibility. And if those guys go out there half-heartedly, it shows for the rest of the football team.
On the kicking team. Still 4th down.
Ed Reynolds, a rookie linebacker from Texas, caught for holding. So a 49-yard punt with, as you saw, no return comes back with 10:29 to play in the first half. Seattle leading the game 9-0. Here's a correction on the Jet score. It's now a 13-9 game. Sorry to have misinformed you, but they've got a long way to go there as we do here. But so far, Trump, we have seen 0 first downs for the Patriots. Not only have they not scored, they haven't gotten a first down. They had a 1st and goal at the 10-yard line early in the game. Paul Johns getting ready for the punt. Downfield it comes, and Johns will return it from the 47 of New England. Up the middle, 30, 25, 20, and the Patriots might have thrown up a white flag. They're not playing football, and the Seattle Seahawks are tearing them up. You talked about the special teams not being enthusiastic. They flat quit on that play.
A 39-yard punt, a 47-yard return, and once through that first wave, nobody was really trying. You're right, Don. You see a lot of people, 75, not really putting his hands out there. I don't know what's happened to this New England football team the last week, but there's nothing showing here. Absolutely nothing showing.
Seattle on fire, and they've fanned that fire through the first 2 weeks with big wins, and they're heading possibly toward another one as Paul Johns returns the punt 47 yards, and the Seahawks take command of the game 16-0. Extra point by Norm Johnson is up and good.
16 left to play in the first half here at Sullivan Stadium as they come back up the field. Seattle Seahawks
Seattle
16.
with a 16-0 lead on the good extra point. Paul Johns just ran back a punt 47 yards, and the Seattle Seahawks have opened up a 16-0 lead. Norm Johnson getting a lot of work on kickoff. Irving Fryer getting a lot of work returning him. High spinning kick, and Fryer will take it at the goal line. He can go. Not here, though, as Seattle, with the special teams coverage, the special forces, they like to call it, under Coach Rusty Tillman, fill the lanes and are not taken out of them, and there's nowhere for Irving Fryer to run.
But, Don, did you notice that there were 4 guys there to make the tackle on Fryer? Nobody's doing anything for New England.
Right now, we remind you that this telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the New England Patriots and the National Football League is prohibited.
14.
Right now, the Patriots wouldn't want anybody to be seeing it. Craig James in the backfield. First and 10 Patriots. James gets his first call. Working hard, gets some, then is thrown back by Keith Butler, who led the charge. Now in his 7th year from Memphis State.
Well, you're down 16-0 with 9:50 to go in the second quarter. Very unimaginative call, wouldn't you think?
Boy, there've been big plays on the other side, though. 47-yard punt return. Before that, we saw a 41-yard pass play. Darrell Turner in the end zone. As Bud Grant said about man-to-man coverage, at least when there's a breakdown, you know who to blame.
That's true. Seattle now with 2. Takes me a while to count them. 4, 6 defensive backs, 1 linebacker, and a 4-man rush.
2nd and 6 for Grogan and the Patriots. Intercepted. This will go in. Pretty easy. Touchdown. Patriot faithful are starting to let the boos cascade down from around Sullivan Stadium.
Now, what Poole said at the top of this game that he didn't like the Seattle Seahawks' chances today. I thought they were playing the New England Patriots. This ball is intended for Irving Fryer. Steve Grogan backs up, easily sitting there waiting for it. With those 6 defensive backs, they're double covering everybody. End result, another turnover, another score.
Tell you one thing, there's some whooping and hollering back in Seattle. That town is football mad. As Franco says, it's like the Steelers fans in the 70s. A lot to cheer about now as Grogan's 0 for 4, 1 interception, 2 fumbles, 3 sacks. A very forgettable day, but not for the Seahawks, who lead 23-0. Coach Ron Myers made a good decision, it would appear here. He's going to change pitchers. Second-year man Tony Eason, who holds about 10 NCAA passing records in the Big Ten, will be coming in for Grogan, who's had a bad day. So have the Patriots, who trail 23-0. Irving Fryer takes the ball across the 25. And now with a new quarterback, we'll see if it's same old New England offense. They give Eason a warm welcome here at Sullivan Stadium.
Yeah, for years, this place is not like Steve Grogan. He's coming off a 4-interception performance last week. And that one he threw to Irving Fryer easily was standing right there. It was a very poor choice. But if I were Tony Eason, I would not be comfortable out there. I mean, it's not just that the quarterback has played poorly. Everyone has played poorly.
Tony Eason, one of those celebrated #1 drafted quarterbacks last year. There were 6 in the first round. He didn't get much playing time, and he's going to get some the rest of this day. Here he throws, and it's a good strike downfield. Ball is lost by Morgan. Just a little bit low, but Eason standing in shows that big league arm as he guns a fastball that Morgan almost had. And right now, we pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
WVIT Channel 30, New Britain, Hartford, Waterbury, New Haven.
This the silver anniversary home opener of the Patriots. Not been a game to celebrate, though, as the Seattle Seahawks have blasted them 23-0 through 2 quarters of play, and a long way still to go in the first half. 9 minutes to play. Easton on the rollout. Home run ball. Morgan had his man beat. He didn't see him. Goes to Ramsey, and he can't hold on. Derek Ramsey. Stanley Morgan had a 3-yard jump on a corner.
It appeared that there was only one receiver that he was looking for, and that was Ramsey. You see Schultz, 58, right back there in the middle. And there's Ramsey. Eason does a good job getting it out there. That ball should have been caught. That would have been the New England Patriots' first down of the ball game.
So Tony Eason 0 for 2, but he's been impressive. 2 balls that could very well have been caught. Certainly the last one should have been.
Okay, here we go again now for Seattle. They got 4 defensive linemen, 1 defensive back, 1 linebacker, and 6 defensive backs.
3rd and 10. They're not going from any shotgun as Eason stands in, and he's got to eat the ball. From the wide flanks came Green and Bryant. Up the middle came Joe Nash.
4th sack with a 4-man rush. They also came with a blitz. Watch inside and outside. You see the gains. 56 gains is the first one to flushing from the pocket, and he also gets the sack. First down, Seattle 7, New England 0.
Back at the 50-yard line of Seattle.
Tony Eason looking for some counsel on the sidelines. It's going to be interesting here, Trump, now to see how the Patriots special teams respond after Paul Johns just ran right through them the last time he took a punt for 47 yards and a touchdown. Prestridge hits a boomer. High, long punt. Johns signals for and makes the fair catch back at the 28-yard line. So the Seahawks get the ball once again after a 50-yard punt by Luke Prestridge. We'll be back in a moment. It's a perfect day in Foxborough, but it's no day at the beach for these Patriots. They've been humiliated.
Don, I'll tell you, that bench looks entirely too comfortable, to my way of thinking.
Michael Harris.
Seahawks with a 23-0 lead and 8:10 to play in the first half. Now just run the ball up the middle. Well, they're all sitting down. They should be comfortable, although I think there's a little anguish over there.
But I mean, also, psychologically, they appear to be very much at ease. I mean, this is a frustrating situation, but you would certainly think a coach, some coaches would be over there either kicking tail or patting somebody on the back to turn this football team psychologically around. Seattle's embarrassed them.
Coach Meyer knows that better than anyone. Here's a throw and a completion in an open field. Running the ball is tight end Mike Tice. Knocking people over. He's all the way down to the 40-yard line of New England. A 31-yard gain. Everybody's getting some. They don't throw to Mike Tice often. When they do, he appreciates it. Now we have a penalty marker down.
At the end of the play, if it's against the New England Patriots, which let's guess that it is, personal foul, New England, they'll add 15 yards on. And that's just, there are a few things that indicate the emotion of a football team. Special teams is certainly number one. The other thing is tackling. You saw Mike Tice break a tackle about 10 yards deep. It was not a good tackle, and Ray Claiborne was the guy who had his hands out there. Generally a very good tackler. I mean, everything that you look at in a football game, indication-wise, is just not there for the New England Patriots.
And the Seattle Seahawks again have a first down at the 27-yard line of New England. Seahawks taking no prisoners on offense, defense, or special teams. They've just buried New England in every aspect of the game, including attitude. Right now, Franco Harris runs wide, turns upfield, and gets down to the 22-yard line. Got about 4 or 5. Steve Nelson and Toby Williams were the tacklers for New England.
This is a simple game to play. You control the line of scrimmage, you're generally going to beat your opponent. Watch from behind the defense. The ability of Blair Bush to get position on Lester Williams. You see the little bow in the defensive line of scrimmage. Steve Nelson there to make the tackle.
Franco Harris, 13th year and chronologically, but with all those playoff games, he's played over 14 seasons worth of games. He's got over 1,000 yards rushing in the playoffs.
Yes.
All-time playoff rushing leader, and he hopes to be back there this year, and looks like he will. Franco looking good. Hard not to at this point. Penalty marker down. Rick Sanford made the tackle.
Franco's still got that quickness, that ability to stop. Here's the call, holding. Seattle. Reggie McKenzie there coming off the field. It looks like he lost his shoe. He sprained his ankle a little bit.
Reggie McKenzie, he's been doing it a long time. 13th year from Michigan. Former captain of the electric company at Buffalo. He turned loose the juice.
Offense. Still second down.
It's on the wide receiver, Paul Johns here. You know, it's just got to be a thrill for Reggie McKenzie.
The first thing he's done wrong, Paul Johns.
You're right.
Heading to Canton to the Hall of Fame.
For McKenzie, this has got to be a thrill. He blocks for O.J. Simpson and now gets a chance to block for Franco Harris.
At the Patriots, 27.
Kurt Warner can make a few All-Pro linemen, too. Here's Craig looking into the end zone. Long ball overthrown. That time they were going to Paul Johns. Darrell Deep Heat Turner comes in and strikes unexpectedly. Then he disappears. We haven't seen him again. The rookie from Michigan State was in to catch one ball. He caught it in the end zone.
I would tend to think that Chuck Knox right now, with this lead, he told us last night, Don, that he wants to try to utilize all of his fullbacks in very specific ways. I would think right now it would be a good way to get Franco Harris some playing time, get him used to the offense.
Cardinals lead the Colts at Indianapolis 14-7. Darrell Turner, number 81, is now in the game, and so is Dan Dorning, the best pass receiver coming out of the backfield.
I think I'd watch Turner. He's got 5 catches for 3 touchdowns.
Roland James, a strong safety, coming over as they double up on the near side. 2 wide receivers set to the right, Paul Johns and Darrell Turner. Byron Walker's wide to the left. He's wide open, but Craig doesn't have time as the Patriots get a pass rush. Doug Rogers can play football. He's helped them. Second sack.
Doug Rogers.
Very few bright spots today for the New England Patriots. Something like that might be able to really fire up the Patriots. Rogers just a bull, an absolute bull on the pass rush, number 65 against Pratt, and he gets to Craig.
Doug Rogers in his 3rd year from Stanford.
Irving Fryer is back 8.
Could use some more of him.
To receive, Jeff Wentz punt.
Right now, the Seahawks punt. And again, they have Jeff West angling the ball to the near sidelines. It carries down. Looks like it might go in. It does. It will be a touchback. And the Patriots, who've had good field position once, that was after the punt return of 42 yards by Irving Fryer, again have a long way to go. Wanted. There it is.
On their own 20.
We'll work on the scoring spelling, but you get the idea. 1st and 10 for Tony Eason, who's come in now to quarterback the team. He goes to Craig James, looks for a hole, and Seattle with a quick, aggressive defense doesn't give much. The initial blocks seem to be good by the Patriot offensive front. Then the Seahawks fill quickly with Keith Butler hitting him head on. Gain on the play out to where they spotted 24-yard line. It was a gain of 4 yards.
You know, Don, this New England football team is now in its 8th quarter, and they've only scored 1 touchdown. They're really struggling.
6-6, Atlanta, Minnesota, an all field goal game. Easton pitches back again to Craig James, and again there is good defense supplied by the Seattle Seahawks. Coming up quickly was the free safety John Harris, number 44.
Last year, this New England running game was outstanding, absolutely outstanding. For some reason, the New England Patriots went away from the 2-back offense went to the one-back offense with the motion tight end, and through the first 2.5 games of this season, it simply has not worked. And Ron Meyer says it's their offense.
Sure doesn't work. It's been a long time since they've been in the end zone, these Patriots. Now they go back to the run on 3rd down, and they don't get there. Pryor was running a fly pattern down the field with a man in pursuit, but Easton's play was a called run all the way, and it didn't get there. So on 3rd down, 4th down, and 3, once again, Luke Prestridge comes out to punt the ball.
I don't know which way to look at it. Is Seattle this good, or is New England this bad?
The Rocket offense, 1, 2, 3 kick.
Yes, Lawrence Welk. A 1 and a 2 and a 3.
Bob Hope said the other day that he and Lawrence Welk play golf together, then they hold hands afterwards and try to contact the living.
Well, somebody ought to contact the living down there on the New England bench. Can't find many.
Knuckleball punt. High hop, they're going to let it roll, and takes a good roll. Here's another penalty marker coming in. What would a punt in this game be without one of those? 54-yard punt, but it could come back. Bob McElwee, the referee, with 3 minutes and 59 seconds left to play.
Illegal push in the back by the turning team.
New England opened very strong at Buffalo. Jumped out to a 21-0 lead, then held on to win 21-17. And then the offense, really in the second half of the Buffalo game and throughout the game at Miami last week, has been dormant. They did get 1 touchdown. They were tied with the Dolphins 7-7 at the half. Miami blew it open after a mistake in the 3rd quarter. And since then, the Patriots really have moved the ball not at all.
Today, New England is now 0 for 6 in 3rd down conversions. That means that for the Seattle defense, they have now allowed 3 3rd downs converted to 1st down in 28 attempts.
Illegal block above the waist. Post-possession foul.
Kansas City Chiefs
1st down.
10. LA Raiders, nothing. Second quarter score, St. Louis 14, Indianapolis 14.
3 minutes and 59 seconds to play in the first half, and the Seattle Seahawks with a 23-0 lead send out their offense. Join us next week for more NFL football on NBC Sports. Start the day at 12:30 Eastern Time with NFL 84 and host Bob Costas. Then some of you will see rookie sensation Louis Lips lead the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Cleveland Browns in a tough AFC Central battle. At 3:30, some of you will see the top-rated quarterbacks in the AFC when Dan Marino leads the Dolphins against Mike Pagel and the Colts. All next Sunday with more games here on NBC Sports. Dave Craig and the Seattle Seahawks having a big day. They lead 23-0 with a 1st down inside their 15-yard line. Franco Harris going wide. New England defense playing hard, shutting down the run again. Don Blackman, 55, and Roland James on the tackle for the Patriots.
Franco with that stutter step to the left. To the right, comes back to the left. Lester Williams, 72, was in there to kind of disrupt things. That's an excellent tackle from the corner position, but they haven't made many.
When we talked with Chuck Knox last night, we asked him, is Franco adapting to the Seahawk offense? He says, we're adapting to his. We put in some Steeler plays.
Yes.
Second down and 11. Franco again. Nothing there. The 3rd down and 11. Toby Williams closed it down. Number 90 also on the play was Andre Tippett, number 56.
This has got to be encouraging for the Seattle Seahawks without Kurt Warner. Even though Franco Harris and the other running backs are not really eating up the yards, the 23-0 score and the opportunistic defense of the Seattle Seahawks has taken over. You remember what Chuck told us last night? He said, we don't make excuses. Kurt Warner is out. Somebody else has got to do the job. Today, the special teams and the defense has done the job.
Well, I talk about, emotion being 80% of football, and this team is a very spirited up team. They're just ready to play every game, every down. Seattle fans who packed that Kingdom have a lot to be proud about. This is a team that really wants to win and has been doing it. Off to the best start in the history of the franchise if they win today, and that seems to be very much a lock unless they fall apart.
Number 17, offense.
A couple of mistakes now for the Seahawks. Chuck Knox, like any coach, doesn't want to see mistakes no matter what the score.
You're right, but still, I would think Seattle would be very conservative. They don't want to throw the ball up here in any situation that might give some momentum back to the New England Patriots. There's 2:23 left in the first half, and they want to make sure that they don't, if they give something up, it's not a cheap one.
Delay of game now sets the Seahawks back inside their 8-yard line. Third and about 16 or 17 yards to go for the first down. Eric Wayne runs the ball, and now Patriot defense are fighting, high-fiving it. They did a good job as they set the Seahawks back now to punt from the Seattle end zone. New England will have good field position for the first time since that punt return in the first quarter by Irving Fryer. 23-0 is the count, though, and Seattle leads the game, and Coach Ron Meyer, the Patriots, he might be ready to go in.
2-minute warning.
2 minutes to play in the first half.
Each team still has 3 times.
He's not leaving, is he?
Well, he's going out to talk to someone on the punt return team. He wants something special, apparently. He needs a 14-point play. That's what he needs.
We'll be back to see if he can get one in a moment. Trump, that was actually the 2-minute and 12-second warning.
I don't know why they put the 12 seconds back on the clock, but there's 2:12 left, and the 2-minute warning cannot take place until 2 minutes or less is left in the half.
Irving Fryer now ready to receive the punt from Jeff West. Not too deep. Here's Fryer on the run. Look at the channel of blockers. Look out. Irving Fryer inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line.
There's a flag down on the field.
We're going to have a clip on New England.
Penalty marker is down at the 34.
So field position at the 18 will be taken away by the penalty. Holding is the call against the Patriots. They'll still have the ball, though, on the Seattle side of the field, something they haven't had in a long time.
Now it looks like we'll have the 2-minute warning, and if Eason completes the pass, it'll be New England's first for this half.
Illegal use of the hand. Number 89 on the run back.
That's just pure laziness. Absolute, pure, unadulterated laziness.
Grogan 0 for 4. Easton 0 for 2. Patriots having a problem hitting the pass.
I also think they're 0 for 6 in third down conversions. They got 0 for 0 for 0 for.
Todd Blackledge showing himself to be a big league player, starting for the injured Bill Kenny. He is now in the process of leading Kansas City to a possible third straight win this season. Green Bay comes back, scores a touchdown, and takes a 1-point lead over the longtime rivals from Chicago. Jets up on Cincinnati 13-9 at halftime. Jets now without their problem. Studio 54 hasn't helped them. Mark Jefferson. Atlanta and Minnesota. 6-6 tie. Not sure that Studio 54 is a great place to spend an evening. Gastineau got convicted on an assault charge. David Thompson might have lost his basketball career in there. All at 5 o'clock in the morning. Not the bewitching hour.
Missed the bus.
St. Louis now in a tie with the Colts. Colts rally to tie that game up 14-14 in the second quarter.
Don, I wonder what Ron Meyer can tell this football team at halftime. This last 2 minutes is probably very important for the New England Patriots to get anything going, anything that they can build on for the second half. If they don't do something in this last 2 minutes, complete their first pass, finally get their first down, you go in at halftime and say, well, why don't you just take your clothes off? We'll just burn the films and go on to next week.
Remember one time when guy coached Northwestern after they got beat 51-0 by Michigan, Rick Venturi. now an assistant coach with the Colts, said the only difference between me and General Custer is he didn't have to watch the game films on Monday.
Well, you know, the sad thing about this, it's not just your teammates that will watch this film on Monday, and we got to have to go. I mean, Seattle scored 23 points in the first half. New England can score 23 points in the second half. But this game goes all over the league. Everybody sees it.
First and 10 now. Patriots with the ball. Tony Eason at quarterback. Loops a pass. He finally makes a connection. Derek Ramsey, a big truck of a tight end, takes it down to the 31-yard line. Standing ovation as the Patriots have their first pass completion.
And their first down of the half. These Ivy Leaguers, they know how to rub it in, don't they? This is just a simple play. Dawson, the tight end, comes off the linebacker, gains 56. And he's standing out there ready to catch it. I mean, it's nothing spectacular, but all it took him was 28 minutes to get it done.
They're gaining on it, though. First and 10 of the 32. Pitch back. Tony Collins looks for a hole, finds one, and Collins rockets down inside the 25-yard line as the Patriot blockers open up the defensive front of Seattle. And Tony Collins takes it ahead for about 8 yards. And here they go into that offense without a huddle. 2-minute offense.
Joe Nash on the tackle. He had to get 100 tickets for friends. He's from the Boston area. He's basically playing this game for free.
Bob and Ahmad, Bill and X, they'll all be standing by. NFL 84 in New York as they update the scores and the stories of this third week of play. The story here in Foxborough has not been a happy one for the Patriots on home opening day, 1984, as the Seattle Seahawks off and rolling even without the great Kurt Warner with a 23-0 lead. As the calendar indicates, fall is almost upon us, but the boys of summer still have some unfinished business. Don't miss the absolute best in baseball. The 1984 World Series, the championship of baseball, begins October 9th here on NBC Sports.
An interesting point there. Inside the 2-minute warning, any injury is charged to the team for which the injured player comes out. Kenny Easley, the free safety of the Seattle Seahawks, limped off the field, so therefore the Seahawks charged with the timeout. Now, they have 2 left, and New England has 2.
Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy, Foxborough, Massachusetts, Sullivan Stadium, home of the Patriots. Today it's been the home court of the Seattle Seahawks. Now, 2nd down and 2 for New England. Shutout so far late in the first half. Good throw, hard throw in the flank, little high for Stephen Starring.
Seattle doing a great job of covering those receivers. They've not thrown in Stanley Morgan's direction at all.
He was open one time deep. Stephen Starring was 4 years a quarterback at McNeese State. Said one thing he learned, knows what it's like to be back there looking downfield. He said he never comes back to the huddle and tells the quarterback, hey, I was open.
Yeah. You know, he went to McNeese State because they kept him at quarterback. He had offers from bigger schools, but they wanted him to be a wide receiver, defensive back, but he wanted to be a college quarterback.
Nothing there. Patriots try to give Tony Collins the draw, and there is no place to go. Knocked down at the 30, and so it's going to be 4th down and 8. The Patriots, with 1:18 and the clock running in the first half, go from scrimmage for the first down. Eason takes a look. He gets time. He fires the ball, and he gets the first down at the 14-yard line. Stephen Starring coming back to the ball, number 81. New England now challenging with the clock down to 58. You see it ticking down. That's the second quarter clock.
Plenty of time.
In the flat, another strike. Drop ball. Morgan drops the ball. Eason's come in, has had 3 drop balls.
Dave Brown on the coverage there with Stanley Morgan. He had a severely pulled hamstring, and is still not 100%. Watch this. It lets the ball get into his pads. You asked me before the game, how do you properly catch the ball? You catch it with your hands as far out in front of you as you possibly can. Then you bring it in. You can absorb the hit. Stanley tried to get it right at his body, at the pads, and it bounced right off.
Let's see if Eason goes back to him now. 2nd down and 10 from the 15-yard line.
blitz.
Did a good job. Hey, that's a receiver he threw it at. That's going to be a tough call if that's intentional grounding.
I think that's what they're going to call.
Morgan was right in the area where he threw it. They might reconsider that when they get together. They're going to call intentional grounding on Tony Eason of the Patriots, so there's lost it down.
I think the referee threw the flag
grounding the football against the quarterback, loss of down.
for the way in which he threw the football, Don. If we watch this very closely, you'll see he's going down. Maybe the best choice would have been in the grass, but watch the way he throws the football. At that moment, he could have said Eason was in the grass right there, but you can see he's just dumping it off. I think the official is right.
He intentionally grounded the ball, but he did it legally.
Yeah, but I think the official is correct.
There was a receiver near it.
Quarterback, 10 yards from the previous spot, loss of down.
Okay, if
All
there's
the
a
great
mistake-
ones were masters at it. United.
Sure. But once again, the official, I think, should have called him in the grass. You see Jacob Green coming there? That's in the grass. Then you got no question. It's a sack and you let go there. But maybe he's saying it's the manner in which he threw it. And he threw it way behind Stanley Morgan. Nevertheless, lost it down 10 yards.
And the ball is out to the 25-yard line of Seattle. 3rd down and 20. A long ball coming up as Fryer goes in motion. Running over the middle, Irving Fryer. Eason looks at him. He's going to run the ball. Tony Eason. 5, 10, and he's going in. And finally, the Patriots have something to cheer about.
"25 yards on the carry. Excellent coverage by the Seahawks down the field. Ron Meyer wants him to run the ball, but he doesn't want Tony Eason to run the ball. I think this is a very, very important play for the New England Patriots. At least now they got their chin off the deck. They can go in at halftime, and they're going to get yelled at, but they did put 6 points on the board. Good blocking downfield by Ramsey, and Eason bowls his way into the end zone.
Tony Eason has certainly picked up the team in that 25-yard scramble for a touchdown. Gives the first points of the day to the Patriot offense. Franklin hitting the extra point. So New England is on the board with 35 seconds to play in the first half. 2 quarters of football left, plus 35 seconds in the second quarter. I saw a game here last year, Trump, where the San Diego Chargers came out. I never saw an offense like it. They ran 10 different plays, the first 10 plays from scrimmage. Every one gained about 15 yards. They were blowing New England out. All of a sudden, the Patriots scored, and the whole game turned. And New England went on and ended up beating San Diego that day, 37-21. They blew them out.
Well,
we're not looking for that, but it might be a ball game.
There's no question that, let's put it this way, New England needs to load the bases and make sure their power hitter is at the plate. They got to get him and get him in a hurry.
One thing I think you may see next week, regardless of the outcome of this one, is Tony Eason quarterbacking the Patriots. They've certainly been a better-looking offense with him in there.
Except they really haven't done that much. I mean, he's 1 of 4. That's it.
How about the drops, though? He's thrown the ball well.
You can't blame that on the quarterback, though, can you? I mean, they're not getting... This is a very, very big offensive line of the New England Patriots. It's known for that finishing the blocks. Getting Collins that 2 or 3 yards upfield so then he can cut left and right to gain more yards. They're not getting it.
Tony Eason congratulated on the sidelines as they have that oblong spheroid ready to boom downfield, ready to hit it, is Tony Franklin. He was a first-team All-American at Texas A&M, had a running verbal battle with Dick Vermeil when he was with the Eagles. Vermeil didn't like his attitude, but he helped kick him into a Super Bowl.
We're going to make him kick it again.
35 seconds to play in the first half.
Question for you, Coach. Why wouldn't you try an onside kick here? I mean, what's it going to do for you? Give it a try.
Well, the way New England's luck is going, first of all, you're not going to get the ball. Seattle's going to have it at year 40.
Okay, but you make a lot of your own
Then
breaks.
they're going to kick another field goal.
I don't know about that. That'll take a long... I'm not sure that Seattle would take a chance and put the ball up. I'd try an onside kick here just to try to give my team as much emotion and momentum as I possibly could.
He didn't hear you. Downfield, a free ball. David Hughes picks it up. Penalty markers come in as David Hughes goes down at the 24-yard line.
You see one of the problems that New England has. They have a fullback back there receiving kickoffs.
Both teams go on the side.
And they got a fullback back there that doesn't fumble. That's what they have.
True.
Illegal block above the waist. Number 21 on the return team.
Jim Zorn on the sidelines. Well, it's got to be a good feeling for a coach to have a person of that quality backing up. He had a great summer, lost his starting job, never a word of complaint. If he gets another chance, you know he's going to keep that offense going.
You're right. And, of course, Seattle tried very hard to sign Warren Moon. I think Jim Zorn realized that if Moon signs, he's gone. He really had to change his mind about playing for Seattle.
Seattle ready to run out the clock as Craig goes down, take their winnings to the locker room. A 23-7 halftime lead as the clock ticks down, 22 seconds and running. Chuck Knox, I tell you, he celebrates nothing until the final gun.
You're right.
He's been around too long.
Big question now is, who shows up in the second half in those red uniforms? We don't know.
That'll be the end of the first half.
Well, it certainly got better when Easton came in. We'll see if the Patriots maintain some momentum when the second half starts. But right now, with a 23-7 number on the board and the Seahawks in the lead, we're going to be going very shortly to NFL 84. Score at the end of the first half, the Seattle Seahawks 23, the New England Patriots 7. Opening day at home for the New England Patriots has not been a happy one as Seattle leads at halftime 23-7. Don Crickey with Bob Trumpy at Sullivan Stadium, Foxborough, Mass. The Patriots with a dormant offense until Tony Eason finally scrambled 25 yards in the closing moments of the first half for the first touchdown of the game. What's wrong with New England?
Yeah, I don't know.
Seattle has something to do with it.
You're right. Well, John Morris, their former center, and he does radio for the New England Patriots, made an interesting comment. He said that the New England Patriots closed practice this week to the press. They must have also excluded the players. You can see the stats. I mean, it's so one-sided for the New England Patriots, and yet it's only 23-7. What Seattle wants to do is run the ball. They got 21 carries for 34 yards. We're not seeing a great offensive game by either team, but we're seeing the mistakes turned into points by Seattle, and that's been the difference.
Well, there was some big plays, and they came from the Seahawks early in the game. Norm Johnson with a 42-yard field goal put up the first points, and then it got exciting. Dave Craig takes a look, throwing a home run ball, and Darrell, deep heat Turner, burns Roland James for a touchdown. The rookie from Michigan State in the end zone again. On this play, it was a complete breakdown, and Patriot special teams as Paul Johns returns the punt all the way.
Don, you see, the best hit was between two New England Patriots. They ran into each other. He was basically untouched for 47 yards. And then Steve Grogan, this was his last play of the game. He throws it to a wide-open Ken Easley. Easley runs it in for 25 yards. It's now 23-0.
Quarterback comparisons, there is nothing to compare. It has not been a happy day. 25-yard run by Eason for a touchdown in that first half was the only thing the Patriots had to cheer about. We'll see if they can come back now behind Tony Eason.
You see the 25 yards by Eason? That's 25 of a total 70 that the New England Patriots had in the first half.
On the goal line for the Patriots, Irving Fryer.
Kickoff by Norm Johnson is deep downfield, and Irving Fryer, 4 yards deep, thinks about it, then elects not to come out. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Patriots at their 20. Tony Eason, the second-year quarterback from Illinois, brings out the offensive unit. Came in for Steve Grogan, who was manhandled, intercepted, knocked free of the football. Everything went wrong that could for Grogan, who has had an up and down here in New England. But before the season started, Ron Meyer said, today, tomorrow, and next year, Grogan's my quarterback. We'll see now. He elected to go to Easton today to see if he could move the team. He did get in the end zone once. It's a 23-7 game, Seattle, as we start the third quarter. Long ball, well thrown. Stefan Starring is freed from the football, is recovering with Keith Simpson. The ball hung a little bit in the air. Starring had Simpson beaten.
Well, that helps the psyche of the New England Patriots, but the bad news is it's now 2nd and 10. And you would think that instead of going for the bomb, being down 23-7, to try to set something up for the second half, you try to hit something intermediate. to at least give some stimulus to the offense. This is, if you complete 30% of these, that's good. But you start the second half with something that 7 out of 10 times you're not going to complete? I don't know, Don.
We'll see what he goes to now. Pitch back on second down. Tony Collins runs. Neither team has given up any runs to the yardage. I saw Mike McCormick, recently elected to the Hall of Fame, the president of the Seahawks, said you had some first half. He said, we didn't run the ball worth a doodad. He said, 21 carries, 34 yards. That's not what we wanted.
Yeah, there's no question that the New England Patriots have given a great big assist to the Seattle Seahawks today. Collins has gotten just 36 yards on 10 carries, and he came into the game as the AFC's leading rusher.
Ground yards have been tough to come by. Early in the third quarter, 3rd down and 7 coming up for Tony Eason with 3 wideouts, 2 deployed right, 1 to the left. He looks, he throws a strike and a first down. Irving Fryer coming across the middle, angling in. That's the play he loves. And if you don't catch him, it's off.
You're right. That was well thrown by Eason. Now, obviously, the picture is going to show the ball thrown low and into the ground, but that's what you want to do. It's just a little slant, easily 45 on the inside. You throw it right into his body. And the New England Patriots start the second half with a 3rd down converted to a first down. That's a step in the right direction.
Big play. A 3rd down conversion is a very big one for New England. They really had tough luck in the first half trying to connect against this Seattle defense. First down, Collins turns the corner. Thrown down hard, out of bounds. There'll be a personal foul on that. So the Patriots will get some more yards. Keith Butler and Kenny Easley made the knockdown.
Momentum of the tackle took both off the field, and I think it was just the end of this play that they're going to tag on to 15 yards. Watch Collins. Good, tough runner inside and outside. There's Easley. And there's the hit out of bounds by Butler. They had 15 yards to it. That catch by Irving Fryer, first of his NFL career.
Won't be the last, though. You're going to be hearing from him. Irving Fryer with potentially great abilities to bring to this league. He was injured, as you remember, in the Washington preseason game. Pump fake on the throw, but a good defensive play. The cornerback held up the wide receiver, Stanley Morgan. Just got in his way. And Dave Brown covering on the play.
The old hat. It was a Eason faked the quick out, and so did Stanley Morgan. Brown didn't bite on it, was there to give him a chuck, and it destroyed the timing of the pass.
Patriots come in after beating Buffalo 21-17 in their opener, then losing last week at the Orange Bowl to the Dolphins 28-7. Seattle off to a ripping start, 33-0 over Cleveland on that Labor Day win. 31-17 over San Diego last week at the Kingdome after the Chargers led the game 10-0. On the rollout, Eason looking long. Home run ball. Morgan's out there. Penalty markers down. It'll be 1st and goal, New England. Kenny Easley intercepted the ball, but that was after Stanley Morgan was pushed. If the Patriots take it in now and they'll be at point-blank range, all of a sudden it's a ball game again.
You're absolutely right. You said you've seen turnarounds here. Now watch once again. You'll see the pump right at the end of it, and I see what the Patriots are going to do this second half. They're going to forget trying to gain yards, just go for penalties. Their 2 biggest plays have been this one and the previous penalty on Butler out of bounds. Well, stranger things have happened.
Coach Meyer, he's been through all this before. Big league career at the Harvard of the Desert, Nevada, Las Vegas.
Also at SMU.
A lot of winners, and now here at New England, he watches his Patriots struggling to come back. Interference call, and Morgan, the call against the defender from Seattle, gives the Patriots 1st and goal. Mosey Tatupu, a hard-running Hawaiian, cracks straight ahead. He's the favorite of the crowd here in New England. Takes the ball down to the 2-yard line. Shelton Robinson knocked him down, and Robinson appears to be shaken up.
Got an official's timeout.
Jacob Green, Joe Nash, and Jeff Bryant across the defensive front as Shelton Robinson goes out. Defensive front of the Seattle Seahawks braces as the ball is down to the 2-yard line of Seattle. Second down and goal, New England. Eason takes a look. Man is open. Touchdown, Patriots. Derek Ramsey in the end zone, and we've got the ball game early in the third quarter.
The defender for the Seattle Seahawks fell down in coverage. Ramsey did an excellent job of adjusting to the coverage. Eason was looking right at him, Don, all the way. And look right at the right. 88 coming out of there. He makes contact with Keith Butler, gets his hand on him. Just spins around. Eason puts it right in the middle. And you're right. Now 23-13 with the extra point. The Pats will be just 9 back.
The missed extra point by Norm Johnson may be a factor before we get to the end of this one. Franklin hits the extra point for a second time for New England. Now with virtually the whole second half to be played, the Patriots are right back in the game after trailing 23-0. They've now rallied back to trail 23-14. The Patriots do it quickly, finally culminating on a payoff end, a pass from Eason to Ramsey, and it's a 23-14 game, Seattle.
Don, 57 of the 80 yards by penalties.
Yeah. They hadn't pushed Morgan, though. He probably would have been in the end zone with it. Franklin ready to kick it off. Cullen Bryant is back deep. Back with him is David Hughes. Short kick. David Hughes at the 17, fumbles the ball. But comes up with it and has a good return, as it all turns out, although it was a dangerous one, getting the ball out to the 29-yard line. Today's game is brought to you by Mazda and the full line of sophisticated Mazda products. By Ricoh Corporation, makers of automated office equipment and cameras. And by Pennzoil Motor Oil, quality protection, ask for it. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy. The day becoming overcast now in Foxborough, Massachusetts. No threat of rain. There's been rain here the past 2 days. Perfect playing conditions, but less than perfect football. The Patriots turning it over early and often in the first half, falling behind 23-0. But now they've come back to trail 23-14 with a long way to go. We're early in the third quarter. David Craig takes a look. Good throw in the flat. He again has Paul Johns, who's out across the 40-yard line. He has a first down for the Seahawks.
Well, exactly what the Seahawks needed. Something to quiet the crowd, take a little steam out of the New England Patriots. He's now 9 of 15, Craig is. And Claiborne's still on Largent, so they go to Paul Johns. And Ernest Gibson is now in the game for Ronnie Lippett. We have not heard if Lippett is hurt, but Gibson is a 5th and 6th defensive back, so they're going to pick on him.
Chuck Knox looking at the computer printout as the Seahawks on the gainer have it out to their 41-yard line. David Hughes working for the tough yards, and that's New England defense. There's no quit in that group. They're playing hard.
You're right. They've got to. I don't know what Ron Meyer said at half, but it seems to have worked. And what Seattle's got to do right now is consume some time. This is when they need Kurt Warner to run that ball, reestablish supremacy in this game.
They won't have him, though, till next summer. And right now, we pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
WVIT Channel 30, New Britain, Hartford, Waterbury, New Haven.
Second down and 7 for Seattle. Craig looking long, loops it over the middle, a free ball, and a good defensive play. Coming up to make a hard swat was Ed Williams, the rookie linebacker Ed Reynolds from Virginia. He made the hit on the carrier, the intended receiver, and receptions are very varied in the Seattle offensive group. Johns has caught 5 for 79 yards. He's also returned a punt, you remember, for 47 yards and a touchdown. Mike Tice, the big tight end, and I mean big. What's he, 6'8"?
About 6'7" and a half.
He's got 2 for 37. D.P. Turner caught just 1, but it was good for 41 and a TD, and Largent's caught only 1 for 9. Claiborne's playing him right at the line of scrimmage. Third down and 7. Here's a throw. It's going to be incomplete. And now the Patriots get tough on defense. They shut down Seattle, and New England will get the ball back. Seahawks have to punt it.
Well, good hands-up pass rush by the New England Patriots, and Craig had basically nobody to throw it to. Look at the coverage here on Turner. That's Roland James trying to keep his hands right in the face of D.P. Turner. Chuck Knox has got to be concerned right now. Momentum has switched to the guys in the white helmet.
Irving Fryer can carry that momentum a long way, too. He has the position now to field the punt back inside the 15. He'll return it. Here he comes. Good special teams play again. Seahawks excelling on special teams. They were the best in the NFL last year on kickoff and punt coverage, and they're even better this year. But the Patriots have the ball when we come back. There has been a dramatic change in emotion in this game. Now the Patriot fans on opening day at home are up in cheering the Patriots. And Tony Eason, their young quarterback from Illinois, who has rallied this team, running for one touchdown, throwing for another a moment ago. His team now trailing 23-14 after being routed 23-0. We have 11:24 to play in the third quarter as the Patriots go 1st and 10. Collins runs the ball. He got some. Actually, Craig James, running the ball. 32 takes it to the 17-yard line where Joe Nash and Bruce Schultz knocked him down.
Well, we got a real test right now for both of these teams. If New England can continue the momentum, and we may have a second half of an entirely different complexion. The Seattle Seahawks now got what they want, though. It's 2nd down and long, and they've got 1, 2, 3. Well, they got the standard defense. 3-4 defense.
2nd down and about 7. Eason rolling out. He's got a lot of time. Dumps it off. He's got a man. Lynn Dawson, a big tight end, fires a forearm into Simpson. And the Patriots are ahead for a 1st down, and all of a sudden this has become very much a football game as New England with Tony Eason at quarterback has come alive on offense. They were just awful early in the game.
Look at the way he throws this ball. Just over the head of the linebacker. Dawson makes a great catch going up for it. And they used Stanley Morgan, 86, as the decoy. And underneath was Lynn Dawson, good for 23 yards.
Coach Meyer, from good times and bad, he's like Coach Knox. You can't tell any difference on their face. They've been through it all before. The game can change fast. Quick out. Starring. Good defensive play, but he lost him, and Starring gets ahead across midfield. Bruce Schultz had him and lost him. And Starring gets out of bounds across midfield, very close. It looks like he does have a 1st down.
Hey, Don, where were these guys in the first half?
Eason was on the bench most of the first half. Eason is the story of this game from a Patriot point of view. Ron Meyer said when the offense goes bad, it has a carryover effect to the defense, and the reverse is true. When things are going good on offense, it picks up your defense, and that has happened in this game. Now Eason sets his team down, trailing by 9 with 10:29 to play in the third quarter. 1st down and 10. Eason goes to the run, and Collins doubles up on the ball with both arms and gets to the 45-yard line. The scoreboard around the NFL. Kansas City holding to a 13-3 halftime lead over the Raiders. Chris Barr kicked the field goal to get Los Angeles its only points at the close of the first half. Green Bay continues to lead the Chicago Bears by a 7-6 score. Jets now leading the Bengals 23-16. Pat Ryan just threw to Mickey Schuler for a touchdown. Minnesota and Atlanta in a 13-13 tie.
Fumble!
Patriots, Tony Eason fell on the ball.
Seattle came with a blitz there. I tend to think that Pete Brock, the center, realized the blitz, and watch how he's trying to, you see him pull out just ever so quickly. I'm not sure he ever really got the ball, but Eason does a great job to cover that. This is so critical, that snap from center. And when you're pressured as a center, you got to move quickly. You alter the snap a little bit, but Eason did recover. Great job on his part. Timeout now, New England.
Tony Eason, who was the Big Ten career passing leader when he left Illinois, goes to the sideline now. His statistics starting to look a lot better. He's 6 for 12 for 72 yards and 1 touchdown, and he's run for another. So with 9:16 to play in the third quarter, the Patriots have a third down coming up in 7 when Easton comes back out. Grogan got off to a bad start. That's Grogan in the warm-up jacket behind him. He's a resilient player. He'll have a bad game, and he'll come back and have a great one. You're not going to get him down.
Don, in his career, Grogan has been on the bench. He's been a starter. He's been panned by the fans here in New England. He's been cheered by the fans here in New England. I think Ken Anderson probably said it best from Cincinnati. When the team wins, the quarterback gets too much credit. When the team loses, the quarterback takes too much blame. But he's run the gamut of emotions on that sideline.
Indianapolis now in a field goal, goes in front of the Cardinals, 17-14.
First half, the Patriots could only convert 1 of 8 third downs to first downs. Here's a critical one to keep that momentum, just keep this drive alive.
They have a big opening day crowd here in New England, a big day of game sale. Right now, the Patriots have picked up the level of their play considerably after falling behind 23-0. Now it's 3rd and 7 for Easton. Here comes a big rush against him. He stands in, gets it away, and his man lost the ball. Irving Fryer had it and lost it. Gary Jackson covering, but Fryer had a definite play on the ball.
Seattle once again with 6 defensive backs done. And we'll watch Fryer go in motion.
He's so fast he comes all the way across the field.
Yeah, all they're trying to do is just stretch the coverage. At least create some confusion. That ball thrown just a little bit behind him, or he could have caught that and gone for a number of yards.
But he did not, and the Seahawks will get it back as Prestridge is into punt now for New England. 9:12 to play, third quarter. A high punt. And a fair catch is signaled for and made by Paul John, so the Seahawks do get it back, but not where they'd like it. 35-yard punt gives Seattle a first down inside. They're right at the 10-yard line. So they've got a long way to go against a defense on the Patriots that's playing better football. Seahawks break the huddle. First and 10. They start now, though, at their 10-yard line. 9:05 to play third quarter. Seattle has the lead, 23-14. They've not scored in a long time, and the Patriots have the last 14 points of this game. Here's a hard run and a hard tackle. Eric Lane comes straight ahead. Moving up on him was Toby Williams, number 90, and Ken Sims, 77. We're still waiting for Ken Sims to be a great one. You may remember he was the #1 player picked in the entire NFL draft in '82 out of the University of Texas, and had a cracked leg bone last year, kept him out much of the season. Hasn't done it yet.
No. Don, as a matter of fact, is there any other team in the NFL that has 2 players who were the overall first pick in the draft in their roster? They've got to. Irving Fryer and Ken Sims, the New England Patriots do. I think they're the only one in the NFL.
They've sacked inside the 5-yard line. The third time they've sacked him, and Dennis Owens. Big free agent nose tackle from North Carolina State, number 98. Busted through and got by Blair Bush.
Well, in this situation, I would think that Seattle would try to get something out in the flat. Just a short little pass to turn somebody loose. But Owens, a good worker. He's on Blair Bush, the center. Journeyman. But he's done a good job for the New England Patriots. Another free agent who has turned out to be an excellent acquisition. And now, Seattle looking at 3rd down and 15. They're in real trouble. That's the goal line he's standing on.
Dave Craig back at his goal line in the shotgun, throwing from the end zone. Here comes the rush, and there goes the long ball. Good coverage by the Patriots. Chris Castor, a flyer from Duke, was going for the ball, and now the Seattle Seahawks must punt the ball from their end zone, and Irving Fryer is in to return it.
Well, the field position now definitely on the side of the New England Patriots. It's amazing how that's turned from first half to second half. Remember Chuck Knox telling us last night, we got to give the Patriots a long field, 80 yards, as opposed to 50. Fryer standing at his own 48.
Actually, it's Seattle's 48. So
excuse me, you're right.
Big assignment now for Jess West of the Seahawks. Been hitting the ball a lot as the game wears on. Seattle unable to run. Seahawks do lead the game 23-14. Bad punt. Shanks it. Short.
Unless it bounces.
Takes a good
does.
hop, though. It takes a Seattle hop and goes out of bounds at the 48-yard line. So the Patriots get the ball at the Seattle 48-yard line, a 44-yard punt. It hit only 20 yards downfield, but it rolls for Seattle. Patriots have it when we come back. We're back and ready to go at Sullivan Stadium, Foxborough, Mass. The Patriots in red playing their home opener of the '84 season. After trailing 23-0, are now back in the game, 23-14, and there is Irving Fryer, one of the highest-rated players to come out of college football at his position, wide receiver in a long time. On the left flank, they go to the run, though. Collins turns the corner. Foot race. Easley's after him, and Easley gets him. But the Patriots rip off a big gainer.
Don, absolutely amazing how the psychology of this game is turned so very, very quickly. Collins, the longest run of the day, 20 yards. This is just flat foot speed. They got the tight end coming in motion, and watch Collins get outside. Easley's got to take the angle to try to stop him, and he does.
Collins has personally outgained the whole Seattle team running the ball by a rather substantial margin. Seattle has not run at all against this Patriot defense. They got big special team plays and some big throws from Dave Craig to take the lead as they hold it now 23-14. Since they went up 23-0, momentum has changed, and here's a swing pass, blocker in front. Turning upfield is Tony Collins, and very good defensive play by Seattle. Shelton Robinson, shaken up a short time ago, right back in to make the hit.
Well, for New England, I think that's very smart. The more times you can get the ball in the hands of Tony Collins, the better chance you have of getting it down the field.
Tom Catlin, the defensive coordinator of the Seahawks. Ralph Hawkins, the backfield coach in the defensive secondary. They talk about the key to the defense being relentless and swarming to the football as a group. 26-16 now, the Jets leading. Minnesota moves out in front of Atlanta. Vikings yet to win a game. 2nd and 8. Eason with a good fake. There's a pass and a completion to Lynn Dawson. They've gone to him twice, and he's caught them both. It's close to a first down.
Don, the exact same play, too. Eason rolls out with protection, and they're a little afraid of that pass rush by the Seattle Seahawks. This is well designed. He fakes to the running back. You see Hanna, Hawk Hanna. No, that's Wooten, 61 pulling. Hanna's out in front of Eason. Personal escort, and then the tight end coming from the other side underneath all the coverage makes the catch, but it's not enough for the first down.
Tony Collins and Mosi Tatupu, a pair of runners in on 3rd and short. 3rd and just over a yard. Tatupu gets the first down, and Moore as he tracks the Seattle defensive front and gets down to the 17-yard line. John Harris and Paul Moyer combined on the stop for the Seahawks. But New England drives on and gets 4 new downs.
I'd certainly try to keep that young man in the ballgame. He's one of the toughest runners in the game today. And he's also a good blocker and was the personal escort for Tony Collins last year in his 1,000-yard rushing season. But he's back on the bench, back to the one-back offense.
Collins gets the ball and gets inside the 15-yard line, and a first down carry, gets perhaps 3 yards. Again, Shelton Robinson fills quickly to make the stop. Clock is running in the 3rd quarter. 5 minutes and 15 seconds left to play. The sun bright and shining now in Massachusetts again, as the Patriots have made a dramatic turnabout in this game. Collins running the ball 14 times so far with 68 yards in the books for him. Ron Meyer, the coach, saw a flaming disaster on his hands as his team fell behind 23-0 with about as inept National Football League play as you're going to see. Then Eason came in the game, and the whole ball game turned. Now Tony Eason sees something he doesn't like, and as he's counseled to do, he uses one of his timeouts. You're down close, you can't blow the scoring opportunity.
You're right, and I think Eason expected Seattle to be in a 5 or a 6 defensive back set with 2nd and 7, and they weren't. And they probably had a play that was designed to take advantage of that defense, and since it wasn't in there, the best thing to do is just call timeout. And now the advantage falls to the Seattle side. They can come back with the 6 defensive backs or the same defense before.
Trump, what do you think of Eason, his overall abilities?
Well, I really haven't seen him throw the ball particularly well today. I mean, he's throwing it rolling out. He's obviously more mobile than Steve Grogan. He's got a very, very strong arm. And you notice when he talks in the huddle, we've had a couple of shots where he's directing traffic in there. At least he's got the self-confidence to say, look, I don't care what the problems were in the first half. I'm here. We're going to go get them. And that is a big lift for any football team.
Well, he's big enough. It looks like a tight end. Easton is 6'4", 215 pounds in his second year from Illinois. His team has responded. Indianapolis continues to lead St. Louis 17-14. In the second half, now here's how this game has changed, Trump. You see the total numbers are really dominant for New England. 104 yards to just 16 for Seattle. In the first half, for most of the first half, it was that big a disparity for the Patriots. Seattle just dominated the game. Second down and 7. Easton taking a look. Who gets time? Has a man. Starring. Juke moving. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. First down, New England. In a minute, this could be a 2-point game.
And what a turnaround. 12 yards on that catch. In the first half, the Patriots could not protect Steve Grogan. And on that particular play, Eason had all kinds of time to throw it. Well, look at the time that he's got to throw it. Great job by Hanna. By Holloway. He can look all over the place. Starring just standing out there with nobody around. He makes a good move on, is that Michael Jackson, 55? Tupu now in the ball game.
They might give it to Mosley right up the middle. We'll see as they go first and goal from the 2.
Oh.
Tupu.
Unbelievable.
Touchdown, New England. You see John Hanna. Hanna blasted the defensive lineman from Seattle 5 yards back.
I don't blame the Patriots for following John Hanna into the end zone in anybody's ballpark.
What a game. What a football game now. I'll guarantee you this, the Seahawks aren't done yet either.
But see, they fed on the first half mistakes of the New England Patriots. Second half, they haven't made a mistake.
What we'd like to get reported, and maybe we could bottle it and sell it, is Meyer's halftime speech.
You know, he may not have said a thing.
Might have been brief. The extra point is good, and that missed extra point early in the game by Seattle is looming larger and larger as now. It's a 23-21 game. The Seahawks lead cut to 2. That's how it went. 49 plays. Finally to Tupu in the end zone. It's a 23-21 game. Seattle's lead cut to 2 after they led 23-0 as Hughes brings it back, and he again gets across the 30. Hit hard there.
Don, here's the first down total right now in the game. New England 13, Seattle 10. Seattle got 9 in the first half. They've gotten 1 in the second half. And New England has gotten 10. Now, in the first half, we talked about the lack of emotion on these New England Patriots special teams. Let's see if we can see a little more emotion here now. Well, at least they're there taking on Seattle Seahawks. That's a good hit on the tackle. It does appear that the emotion has changed completely.
Pitch back to Franco. Nothing. Harris goes wide, looking to cut back, but there was no lane. Franco has to take it out of bounds.
Second down and 10 from the 4.
Well, they've got to come with their passing set now. They got to try to utilize the area over the middle. And they got to get a couple, 3 first downs here because this game is slipping away from the Seattle Seahawks. Not in a hurry.
Really astounding turnabout. The Seahawks were just putting away, knocking out punches left and right against New England. 23-0 lead. Now Seattle with second down and 10 with their lead cut to 2 in the third quarter.
Isn't that exactly the way the New England offense looked? Disorganized, people looking for receivers, nothing really good going on. Getting the rollout by Craig. He's looking for anybody that's open down the field. See, they get good pressure. Lester Williams, 72 up there. Ken Sims almost gets him. Look, he's got nobody to throw it to. And he throws it at Franco Harris. Not even close to a reception. Third down.
Good second look. Our producer for NBC Sports is Glenn Adamo. Our director, Bob Levy. And we have 4:11 to play. Third quarter, 3rd and 10 Seattle from the shotgun. Greg has to hurry. Gets a strike and the ball is lost. Darrell Turner had it slipped off the shoulder pad. And so the Seahawks have picked the ball again. And Irving Fryer, like a loaded gun, standing back inside his 30, waiting to return the punt. Tony Eason ready to come back in. He's hit 7 of 9 passes in the second half for 65 yards and a touchdown. 23-21 is the score. Good punt. West hitting it high. Fryer signals for and makes a fair catch at his 34. But relatively good field position for the Patriots as Eason brings the offense back out.
Now here's the story of the game to this point. The Seattle Seahawks, a grand total of 39 yards rushing. Last year, Kurt Warner averaged 21 carries and 90 yards. At the outset of this game, Chuck Knox told us that we've got to replace that somehow. They've got nothing. And it's 1, 2, 3 and kick. They can't establish anything. Keep the New England offense off the field this second half.
Unable to run the ball. The lament of Mike McCormick at halftime has been a big factor as they continue unable to run. And here's the first down carry. Greg James runs the ball. Gets across the 35-yard line. They'll spot the ball at the 37. So he got 3. It'll be second down and 7. Greg James was one of the Pony Express backs at SMU under Ron Meyer. The other one was Eric Dickerson. Might be as good as ever come down the line.
Oh, you got that right. John Robinson is building an entire offense around him.
Actually second in a long 6 where they have the ball spotted. James has run 6 times for 16 yards.
Where's Collins?
Gets it away. Oh, it's almost intercepted. You'll remember that last touchdown scored by Seattle, a flat pass that Kenny Easley grabbed and ran in. We almost had another one.
Don, we had the same play called by the New England Patriots. The intended receiver was Lynn Dawson. He was held up at the line of scrimmage, so Easton had to improvise. See the pressure by Michael Jackson. This is close. James slipped. And Robinson almost takes it in.
Robinson went for the tackle and gone for the ball. He would have been gone. Now it's 3rd and 7. Big play for the Patriots and the Seattle defense. Seahawks held out. Good blocking. Here's a throw. Intercepted and low. John Harris had it in his hands, a tip ball, and couldn't hold on. But the Seahawks will get it back now as New England has to punt. 23-21 is the count. 3:06 to play in the 3rd quarter. What was a blowout has turned into an airtight game with a long way to go.
I think he feels very lucky there. Very lucky. If he'd have thrown that in the first half, it would have probably been intercepted. That's the way their first half went.
Everything went wrong for New England in the first half. A lot of it their own doing. Certainly less than spirited special teams play as Paul Johns ran right up the gut for 47 yards and a punt return touchdown. High kick by Prestridge. Paul Johns at the 20. He'll run it back.
See the difference?
Special teams play is good. Paul Dombrowski comes down along with Mosey Tutupu, a 42-yard punt and a 4-yard return.
John, I think the difference is very obvious. We talked about the emotion of this football team, and it shows first on special teams. Good emotion there, great coverage. And Mosey Tutupu, an excellent special teams player. Watch the hit. He's got no place for him to go right there. Tutupu sticks his head in, along with Dombrowski. They put him on the ground, and once again, Seattle's got 76, 77 yards to go again.
Recently, they've been unable to get first down to Seahawks. They've not been able to move it at all.
Split.
On first down, a timing pattern and a good catch by Paul Johns. His 7th reception of the game is good for a first down for the Seahawks. 13-9 now. KC over the
line
Raiders.
will be a
Jim
first
Plunkett
down
just
for
threw to Todd
Seattle.
Christensen for a Los Angeles touchdown. Green Bay trailing Chicago. Bob Thomas just kicked his third field goal for the Bears.
Tonight are available at our
Taking no
kickoff
prisoners there on the
following
Bear
the
Knuckle
game
division.
today.
The Jets opening up 33-16 over Cincinnati. Freeman McNeil ran 33 yards. First and 10 Seattle after the completion to Paul Johns. Franco Harris. Ed Reynolds ran him down.
Harris carry. Ed Reynolds.
Minnesota winless so far under the Marine drill instructor approach to Wes Beckel, opening up today, leading Atlanta 27-13. And the Colts lead the Cardinals 20-14. Franco's last run resulted in a 2-yard loss for the Seahawks, so it's going to be second down and 12. See if Dave Craig can get the Seahawks moving now. Long ball, and again he has Paul Johns. He's playing great ball, taking the defender deep, then cutting back. Ronnie Lippett looks like he's at a hoedown, spinning in circles.
Yeah, he had been out of the ballgame for quite a while, Ronnie Lippett. Ernest Gordon, a rookie. Ernest Gibson, a rookie, was covering. They put him back in the ballgame. Here's the stat of the game now. The Seattle Seahawks, 25 rushes, 38 yards. I mean, eventually you got to give up and keep going with those timing passes, Craig, to this guy and that guy. They're not going to be able to run the ball.
Well, I think they're going to try right now, Trump. It's third down and less than a yard. 45-yard line of Seattle. High set. David Hughes, the up back to block. The handoff. Eric Lane.
Eric Lane
He's going to
gets the
be
ball.
right about where he needed to go. Had to get to the 46. Look, it might be close enough to measure. Where they have his spotter right now, looks like he's got it.
Yeah. Well, with this first down, they can stop the bleeding.
27, Atlanta
Although
15.
you see the dive here. Hughes up front on the lead block. Lane just tries to dive over his own man. It appears that he got it, although it's going to be very close.
He's got it, I think, by the nose of the ball. First down, Seattle it is, and so the Seahawks, with consecutive first downs now, get out of trouble and move the ball out to their 46-yard line. Bright, sunny day in New England. Crystal clear day with the temperature about 70.
46-yard line, first down.
Third quarter clock is running, 1:52 to play and running.
God, I noticed that Ernest Gibson back in the ballgame now at the top of the screen. They've been picking on him.
They're going to roll out, looking long. Myers. Ball is caught by Steve Largent. Linebacker Steve Nelson was against him, and Largent makes the reception. And it's yet another Seattle first down. So now the Seahawks get their running and their passing game going.
You're right, and I think they've pretty much given up on the run. They're not going to get a lot of yards. Let's throw it down there, the intermediate area. Not take too big a chance. Craig is a good rollout quarterback.
They're finally getting offense out of the Seahawks with Craig rolling out and firing downfield. Don Myers looking for that defense and stuffed the Seahawks earlier in the second half. First and 10. David Hughes loses 4 yards.
David Hughes carry.
Toby Williams, a 10th round draft choice from Nebraska. Right there with the handoff to make the stop for a loss.
Just see the quickness of W. Williams here. Jumps right inside the block and is there to almost take the handoff. Andre Tippett, 56, also back there. I know Chuck Knox likes to run the football, but you got to know when it ain't going to work and go to something else.
The running game surely has not been working for Seattle. It has not been here. But the Seahawks still lead 23-21. Inside a minute to play in the third quarter. Craig throws. He has a man open. Charlie Young, his tight end, makes a diving play on the ball and looks like he's got it. Big play by Charlie Young. Good for about 9 yards.
He was uncovered. He had Blackman 55 inside, Roland James 38 outside. They haven't, Seattle hasn't thrown the ball a great deal to the tight end today. Let's see if we can see this pattern. Watch how open he is. If the ball is thrown right at Charlie's chest, he can gain another 10 yards. If he does catch it, there's James 38 on the outside, 55 Blackman on the inside.
defensive players has been in this game for the Patriots.
At the right time, too. You see him coming outside. Tippett is a guy who is defensive line size and running back speed. And Craig's not going to get away from him. He had no chance whatsoever. You see the blitz 57 inside. And here comes Tippett to the outside.
That will do it. So at the end of the third quarter, the score is Seattle 23 and New England 21. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station. With Bob Trumpy, this is Don Crickey back at Sullivan Stadium, Foxborough, Mass. The Seahawks must punt the ball after David Craig was sacked on a third down play, rolling to pass. Andre Tippett got him. Seahawks holding to a 2-point lead as we open the fourth quarter. An excellent punt by Jeff West. And it hops into the end zone despite good coverage by the special teamers for the Seahawks. So it comes out to the 20. And there the Patriots going offense, trailing by just 2, first and 10. He joined us late. New England was behind Seattle 23-0 in the first half. Seahawks scoring every way. Paul Johns in a 47-yard punt return. Kenny Easley on an interception return. Mistake after mistake, plaguing an inept New England offense. Then Tony Eason came in at quarterback, and the whole game changed as the Patriots have scored the last 21 points of this game.
And look at those rushing yards for Seattle. They score 7 points in the last minute of the first half, and they score 7 points in the first 2 minutes of the second half, and now Mo is on their side.
Tony Collins on first down runs the ball for the Patriots out to the 25-yard line. Keith Simpson makes the knockdown for Seattle. Look at the disparity in rushing. New England 118 yards, most of it on the legwork of Tony Collins.
Yeah, he had the longest run from scrimmage in the first half, 25 yards for the touchdown. Look at the time of possession evening out here. This has been, no, they did not change uniforms at halftime.
You would think they did, though. They changed quarterbacks. That's been a big factor. Easton stands in, a big rush. He gets it away. His man catches it. Derek Ramsey's ahead for a first down. Derek Ramsey looked like he was going to lose it, but he got both arms on it and just pulled his way ahead for a New England first down.
Keith Butler missed the tackle, and then Michael Jackson finally made it. Now Ramsey is a converted tight end out of college from Kentucky. Watch him break this tackle. That's Butler. And then Jackson finally gets him down. Another first down for New England.
St. Louis 24.
Handoff. Turning upfield is Tony Collins for 12 yards and a New England first down. Simpson finally knocked him down as these offensive linemen for the Patriots are really blasting people. Holloway and Haley, the 290-pound tackles. Hanna and Wooten, the guards, and Pete Brock, the center.
Let's also give an assist to Irving Fryer. Watch him, number 80. He gets a block, and he allows Tony Collins to break up underneath it right there. You see, on 22, Dave Brown, and that gets Tony Collins the next 7 yards.
First down, Tony Collins again turns upfield and runs into the Seattle defense for more yards. Gets ahead for 6 before the free safety, John Harris, caught him.
Well, now we see what the Seattle Seahawks would like to be doing, and that is consuming time and running the ball for plus yards. Collins is a great thundering back. He's got speed, but he's also got good toughness. And he'll carry the ball in there 17 times. That's not bad for Tony Collins.
It's not bad for Jim Brown. That's a great day running against a defense that's been tough to run against this year. Collins came in as the AFC's leading rusher this season. Looks like he won't lose that honor. Here's a handoff straight ahead to Craig James as he weaves and picks his way ahead for 3.5 yards and a first down for New England. For the Patriots, with that vaunted offensive line starting to play like the All-Pros, lose the ball on the run, play after play, and down to the 43-yard line.
Don, what was that sign we saw at the end of the first half about second half points, blocking, and all the rest of that stuff? These people in Sullivan Stadium know this football team, don't they?
They've seen him come back before, and it looked like they were going to fold their tent and go home early today, the Patriots. But Easton came in, and now they've rallied back. But Seattle still leads. Here's a swing pass to Starring. Blockers in front. Now the New England offense, so incompetent early, is affecting different looks, different plays. Everything seems to be clicking.
Don, in the first half, we kept mentioning, as you look at that sign, take away the E. I'm sorry, English teacher, I didn't write that. But in the first half, we were talking about Seattle using 6, 7, and 8 defensive backs in a 3-man rush and getting to the quarterback because of the first down yardage. In the second half now, accumulated by the New England Patriots, it's basically taking Seattle out of the defense they want to play.
Right, Chuck Knox talking about sealing the interior, making the Patriot backs run wide and shutting them down on first down, but they haven't done it. Patriots going straight ahead now on 2nd down and 2. It's going to be very close to yet another New England first down. The missed extra point earlier in the game looming large as it's a 2-point lead right now here for the Seahawks. Kansas City holding to a 13-9 lead now in the 4th quarter over the Raiders. Chuck Knox waiting to get the ball back. Chicago with 3 field goals from Bob Thomas and a lot of defense leading the Packers at Green Bay 9-7. The Jets, who were beaten badly the last time out by the Steelers, looking strong against a team from Cincinnati that was supposed to be good but has not been. Bengals could be off to an 0-3 start.
Yeah, that's surprising, too, with a new head coach and some healthy people. They don't do well against the New York Jets. Freeman McNeil a couple of years ago, remember that? Yeah, 202 yards rushing against them.
Get a 33-yard touchdown run today, Freeman McNeil. Right now we have 1st and 10 New England. 4th quarter, 10:33 in the clock running. Easton hands off to Tupou. Powers is way. To Tupou, picks on people and goes down to the 20-yard line. First down, Patriots, a 12-yard gain.
Very sure-handed ball carrier, Mosi Tupou. He's a real battering ram. They're going to keep him in the ball game now.
This is a very big game for New England and for Seattle. New England 1-1. If they lost today, they'd be 1-2. If the Dolphins win as expected at Buffalo tomorrow night, they'd be 2 full games behind in their division. They win today, they're 2-1 and right back in it. But right now, Seattle has the lead. Seahawks looking to keep pace with those tough Raiders in maybe the toughest division, the AFC West. Run down to the 17-yard line on a first down carry. Mosi Tupou carries the ball, and Keith Butler stops in the AFC West, a team that last year sent 3 teams to the playoffs. The Raiders, Seahawks, the Broncos. 2 went to the conference championship game, and 1, of course, the Raiders won the Super Bowl.
Watch him fire up in there. That's a good tackle by Keith Butler. They'll keep giving it to Mosi. Very strong runner.
Now, 2nd down and 6. The Patriots well within field goal range at this point. Greg James in the backfield. Lone setback, gets the pitch back. Good block by Ramsey. James turns the corner. Greg James is going to be close to a first down. Might be about a yard short of it. It'll bring up 3rd and 1.
Don, what a tremendous psychological lift. Coming back like this has got to be for the New England Patriots. This is not something that just carries to the end of this ball game. This is something you build on for the rest of the football season. Last week in Miami, or was it for the 16th year in a row, the 17th, the Patriots couldn't win in the Orange Bowl. Their jaws were on the ground. Now coming back after a terrible first half and dominating as they have in the second half, no telling what the result's going to be on down the line for them.
Ron Meyer pacing the sidelines in good times and bad. They were bad early. They're getting better for New England. The Tupou, the lone setback on 3rd and 1. Handoff, running wide. And ahead for the first down is Greg James. They were looking at Tupou, and then Greg James got the ball. He's gotten some money yards from in this game. 1st and goal at the 10.
He came from the U.S. Football League over here. Had some knee problems last year. He's a good special back for the New England Patriots, Greg James is. Now who do they have in there? They come back with Collins, do they? Yep. Blitz.
And the blitz worked. Kenny Easley came a-flying from the strong safety position. He got the ball carrier because the defensive line hasn't been.
Interesting call by the Seattle Seahawks down there, you don't normally see a lot of blitzing, especially from a safety, but he goes in between guard and tackle and is there to make the tackle in the backfield. Look at him. Look at him. Easley's trying to fire up his team. Come on, we're not going to let this get away from us now. Stop him here.
Turned into some football game. 8:24 to play in the fourth quarter. Clock running, New England in red. Trailing 23-21, but driving. Second down and 10. Pitch
Reverse.
Reverse it is. Look at that block. But they blocked him into his own man. Bruce Schultz was blocked right into the ball carrier.
What a play.
Fryer.
Bruce Schultz pushes the guy into Fryer and makes the tackle. What a defensive play by this kid. You can see it coming. Fryer with great speed. Now watch what 58 Schultz does. He takes Eason, pushes him right into Fryer. What a play.
Big play by Bruce Schultz, a third-year linebacker from Texas.
There's nobody out here. If Schultz doesn't stop Fryer right here, there's nobody left. I mean, Fryer's going to run for another 10 yards. Seattle's gained a grand total of 3 yards rushing in the second half. New England 95.
Third down and 10. They go with a draw play, and the two-boot takes it right up the middle down to the 15-yard line to set up a try at a go-ahead field goal if it's successful. Joe Nash knocked him down.
Don, this will be Tony Franklin's first field goal attempt in the regular season for the New England Patriots.
Right.
Tony Franklin.
He can make a lot of friends here, getting this one through the uprights.
In the fourth quarter, New York has 23, Cincinnati 16.
Wonder about that bare foot up here when it comes late November.
Yeah. Although he kicked in Philadelphia, you don't have a very temperate climate there either.
You haven't been up here in December. See, his numbers in the preseason good. Tony Eason will hold. Snap and set down good. Kick is plenty long. It's good. They're waiting a long time to make the call, but the kick is good. Look at this. You can't demonstrate, but you can talk. Seahawks thought it was wide, or they were hoping it was.
Watch him. He knows.
So the Patriots, after trailing 23-0, have now gone in front 24-23 with 6.5 to play.
Watch this.
Tony Franklin hit the go-ahead field goal, and now he kicks off. We come to live action. Tony Franklin hits it downfield, and David Hughes returns it out to the 23-yard line. So Seattle, after leading 23-0, now has to come from behind, albeit a single point behind. Here's the post-field goal celebration.
What do we call this?
Talking field goal.
First down and 10 for Seattle offense.
As Casey Stengel one time said, Trump, who'd have thunk it?
Yeah, what did Dick Motta say? It ain't over till the fat lady sings?
Well, she's not chirping yet, but we got 6.5 minutes to go, and the Seahawks with the ball, but they trail by a point after leading 23-0. 6:21 to go. David Craig at quarterback. He's going to throw, and here's the rush, and they get him. New England has the ball. Lester with the Lester Williams.
For sure, Ron Meyer must have pulled out his Gipper speech at halftime because this is not the same team that played in the first. You see Craig flushed by Nelson. The ball is loose right there. I don't think anybody realizes it, but Craig, watch Williams. Whoa, room service. Our ball.
Steve Nelson, who's made big plays for a lot of years for New England, does it again, and now the Patriots have the ball first and 10 inside the 15-yard line of Seattle. Handoff. Greg James follows John Hanna. That's a truck to follow, and he's down to the 10-yard line. Let's watch again now as we see the blitz and the bubble.
Nelson with his arms around the quarterback's hand. You see it bouncing off the offensive tackle. The right man in the right place at the right time. Patriot ball.
From the 10, here's the run. Going to the end zone. Mosey Tatupu.
Offensive line, tough running by Tatupu. 8 carries, 40 yards. That was his second TD.
Now Tony Franklin to try the point after. And the Patriots with a string of 31 unanswered points have come from 23 behind to lead the game 31-23. And now Seattle needs 2 scores to win this game.
On Sunday, September 23rd.
They're letting the good times roll here in New England. They never thought they would at the outset of this game when Seattle took command, but now the Patriots with 31 straight points lead by 8. Fourth quarter. Here comes David Hughes running back the kickoff after Mosey Tatupu's touchdown for the Patriots. And the Seattle Seahawks, unable to move, send their offense out again. Today's game is brought to you by the new Chrysler Corporation. We don't want to be the biggest, we just want to be the best. By Midas for mufflers, brakes, and shocks. Trust them, Midas Touch. And by Burroughs Corporation, the question isn't who's bigger, it's who's best. Right now, the Patriots are. After trailing 23-0, they're out in front 31-23. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy, Sullivan Stadium, Foxborough, Massachusetts. And this is the most dramatic and biggest comeback from a halftime deficit of any team in the 25 years the Patriots have been a football franchise. Right from the shotgun, Seattle needs yards. Craig takes a look and fires in the flat and skips an incomplete pass in. Now it's the New England defense that can dictate. With extra defensive backs and an all-out pass rush, the running game for Seattle has not been existent, and it wouldn't do much good now to run the ball, needing 2 scores with 5:15 to play.
You're right. For the rest of this ball game, when Seattle's on offense, I don't think New England's going to care one bit if they can run the ball. They're going to lay off. Those defensive linemen are going to take off up the field, an occasional blitz, and try to be in Craig's face all day long. 5-6 defensive backs now for New England.
Craig looks over the middle, and there is Paul Johns. Again, this time it's Darrell Turner coming out, making the reception. Nicely done as he goes out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Quarter-by-quarter scoring is unlikely indeed. Seattle with the first 23 points of the game. New England scoring on a 25-yard run by the quarterback, Tony Eason, when he came in to replace Grogan late in the second quarter. Then New England with 14 points in the third quarter, 10 more so far the fourth. 31 straight points unanswered by Seattle as the Patriots come back to take the lead. 5:08 to play. Paul Johns having a big game, catching the ball, 8 receptions for 112 yards for Seattle, and of course a punt return for a touchdown. 3rd and 1. You'll see if Eric Lane got over the top.
Seattle has not really been able to throw the ball down the field after the touchdown to Darrell Turner. That's basically been all they've gotten downfield on. They've been throwing it out to the sideline. And, of course, they don't have the quick running back to throw it to with those 4 fullbacks on their roster. And Zach Dixon hurt. So they're really missing some weapons, Seattle is.
throws the ball in Largent, who's not fast, but you get it near him. He's got it. He did just then for a first down for the Seahawks. He's out to the 47-yard line. A gain of 12 yards on the play.
So the Seahawks got to start hustling up. Excuse me, Don. Once again, this is our matchup. This is Claiborne versus Largent. Craig watching him all the way across the field. Largent gets just a little bit of cushion. Craig puts it right on the money.
And it's 1st and 10 Seattle at their 47-yard line. Seahawks trail 31-23. 4 minutes to play. Paul Dombrowski, a hard hitter, comes up and pops the receiver Byron Walker. Loosens the ball so it's incomplete into the 2nd down and 10 Seattle.
There's only 4 minutes left in this ball game, and the Seahawks have 3 timeouts. They're going to start going into their 2-minute offense now. They can't be taking time in the huddle, and they got to throw the ball down the field.
On the Seattle 47.
Well, you know, before long, Trump, number 81, who's moving out to the right flank. The deep speed. Darrell Turner, they'll be going to him. He's at the top of your screen. Before long, they will be going to Turner on a fly. Craig looking deep.
No!
Dombrowski intercepts. And he's back inside the 40. Paul Dombrowski, number 47 in your program and number 1 in their hearts in New England right now, stops this Seattle drive.
22 yards on the return. There's a very late flag. You can see Seattle was going to the outside, trying to stop the clock after the reception, but Dombrowski plays it perfectly.
Against the red team. Foul will be enforced, and it'll be 1st and 10 New England.
That's his first interception as a Patriot. It comes with 3:49 to play in the game. We know just as Seattle had a throw, Bob, what the Patriots will be doing now, pounding the ball behind the likes of Holloway, Hanna, Brock, Wooten, and Haley.
What a turnaround. You never know what ignites something like this either.
Ball is on the 44-yard line of Seattle.
You know, as Chuck Knox told us last night, his biggest fear happened today. They couldn't run the football, and they couldn't get New England in those 2nd and 3rd and long situations in the second half. First half, they did a good job of it. Second half, they couldn't follow through. They couldn't put them away. They had them down, but they couldn't put them away.
You would think at 23-0 they were put away, but Easton came in and the Patriots
Fumble.
another free ball. Stephen Starring. When it rains, it pours. A complete turnabout, not only on the scoreboard, but in the way the breaks have been going. That time, a lost ball almost resulted in a Patriot touchdown when they got it back.
Dave Brown made the hit on Tony Collins. Now watch this thing squirt away from him. And this is the way the second half has been for the...
Down at the 20.
This is the way the second half has been. Watch that ball bounce up perfectly right there. I mean, bounced right up into his hands. First down. Just the way they draw it up on the chalkboard.
Nothing to it. Trick play, whatever it takes. Right now, the Patriots with a first down. Go to the run. Here comes Tony Collins. Breaking tackle. The guards pull, and again, the Seattle defense is opened up. They've been pounding away at it. And New England's offensive line bigger and stronger as the game wears on.
Watch that line of scrimmage. He slides sideways, and then it's got that good first step up the field with acceleration. And he gets 8-9 yards in a hurry.
He got 8. 2nd down and 2. Tatupu breaks the tackle. Again, New England fumbles, but New England again recovers.
Tatupu again on the ball. Boy, it's bounced their way the second half.
Chuck Knox waiting for that ball to come up again and for his team to get it, and that's going to be a official timeout as 2 minutes remain to be played in the game. So, timeout on the field, and now here comes Another one of those fantastic finishes for New England. It's been one today.
Yeah, we already got it. This is astounding.
All the Patriots on the road when they play the New York Jets at the Meadowlands. Too many guys. The official travel agency for the New England Patriots for your reservation. Crimson has offices in Boston as well as in the suburbs. Call them tomorrow. Boston College next Saturday night. Kick-off time 6:30 here at Sullivan Stadium. Tickets for the Boston College game.
Well, you see Ron Meyer talking to Eason. I imagine all he's telling him is make sure those hands off the Mosi Tatupu. He's their most sure-handed ball carrier, along with James. And they're not anxious to get the ball in the end zone. They just don't want to turn it over. And it's been rather slippery here the last couple of runs.
Those Seahawks pounded on the ball can help it get slippery. But they haven't been able to come up with it. And the Seahawks desperate now. They need 2 scores to win this game after leading 23-0. Patriots rallying for 31 straight points. First score they had came late in the second quarter when quarterback Tony Eason was trapped and ran up the middle for 25 yards and a touchdown. Eason at quarterback replacing Grogan in the second quarter. The whole team was turned around in this game. Loop pass, hands open, touchdown, New England. Irving Fryer. It's unbelievable. Absolutely astounding.
His first as a pro, 15 yards on the catch. Now that's an amazing call. I mean, less than 2 minutes to go, you think they're going to run it. And he puts it up. Look, he's got plenty of time to throw. Fryer doesn't appear to be covered. Harris, 44, the closest one.
Not only is New England going to win this game the way it's going, they're going to blow them out after trailing 23-0.
38 unanswered points.
Extra point attempt.
Both these teams with tough National Conference opponents next week. The Seahawks go back to the Kingdom to play the Chicago Bears. The Patriots will be home as they go against the Washington Redskins. It's up, it's good. So the Patriots' fantastic comeback continues as they go out in front 38-23. And now here comes another one of those fantastic finishes.
56 seconds left to play.
Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy back at Sullivan Stadium, Foxborough, Mass, where it's all gone wrong for Seattle after they led the game 23-0. Bob Trumpy, the outset you said you didn't like Seattle's chances at all. Then you saw them lead 23-0. What did you know?
Well, no, I didn't expect this to happen, but here's a stat for you. Last year with Kurt Warner, the Seahawks averaged 132 yards rushing per ball game. He getting about 90. Today they got 25 rushes, 37 yards.
High spinning kick goes to David Hughes at the 8-yard line. The 15 to the 20. Working hard, he's out to the 27-yard line, but only 1:47 shows on the clock. And the Seahawks need 3 scores. They need 2 touchdowns, 2 extra points, and a field goal to win this game. They're down by 15.
I don't know that I've ever seen a bigger turnaround anywhere. Have you?
I don't recall one, no. Well, I saw something one day at the Orange Bowl in Miami. The Dolphins and the
Chargers.
And the Chargers.
Oh, I saw that game, yeah.
24-0 San Diego in the second quarter. San Diego finally won it after about the next day. Went to long overtime.
But look, this team has basically played 31 minutes of offensive football. The last 1 minute of the first half and the last 30 minutes of the second half. And produced 38 points.
It was broken up by number 47, Paul
Dombrowski, who intercepted before, breaks it up now, and it's going to be 2nd down and 10 for Seattle. 1:42 left to play. Final starts to come in. Scores close to being final. The Raiders, who always find a way, have now gone out in front of Kansas City 19-13 after the Chiefs led that game 13-0. Chicago Bears off to a 3-0 start on 3 field goals and great defense. They beat the Packers at Green Bay. The Jets roll over the Cincinnati Bengals at Giant Stadium in New York as the Jets now go to a 2-1 record. Minnesota wins its first game. Here's Craig. 2nd and 10. He threw, he completed to Paul Johns, but there was resultant yardage negligible, maybe a yard.
Don, I'll tell you what, there's some people in Seattle that at the end of the first half went out for groceries, probably came back and say, wait a minute, this has been the twilight zone. Oh, it's true.
Indianapolis, the Colts of Frank Kush. Last week the Cardinals beat Buffalo 37-7. This week the Colts are rolling over them. Mike Pagel, who's been throwing well, just hit Billy Young with a 6-yard touchdown pass. Curtis Dickey threw a touchdown pass, a long one in that game on a halfback option. 3rd down and 10. Seattle in desperate need of a first down, and much more than that. Craig looks, he throws, got a man, it's incomplete. Darrell Turner running one pattern and Byron Walker coming over the middle. Walker who can't get to the ball. Both cutting across the middle and 19-yard attempt, almost a connection. Now, the end is near for Seattle. This is 4th down. If they don't convert for a first down, New England will run it out.
Well, it's a long trip back to Seattle, knowing that first half they had it in hand and just couldn't rush the ball to take any time off the clock whatsoever in the second half.
Contrasts in this game have been absolutely unbelievable. So in the first half, the Patriots despondent, down 23-0, making every mistake a team could make, sitting there forlorn, and now the whole thing is switched to the Seattle side. Down the middle, here's a pass to Byron Walker and a first down on 4th down.
Don, the thing about this game is Seattle can use the first half of this game as a highlight film, and New England can use the second half as a highlight film.
Boy, it's going to be painful for these Seahawks to look at these game films. After leading 23-0 with 1:18 to go, they're being blown out of the Seahawks 38-23 by New England.
There's Franco Harris. Could not contribute today in running the ball.
Very interesting, as we pointed out at halftime, the remark of Mike McCormick, the president of the Seahawks. He said, we're not running the ball at all. I don't like this. Even though they were leading by a big margin. Here's a long pass downfield, and it's broken up at Raymond Claiborne at the 2-yard line. Franco Harris, less than 2 yards a pop. Patriots stopping the Seattle run even when the Seahawks had the big lead. Thanks to our spotters, Ron Hobson and Joe Persky, and our statistician, Bill George.
Franco did go over the 12,000-yard mark, though. Only the second man in the history of the NFL, Jim Brown being the other.
But going over the 12,000-yard mark today was too little too late.
Yeah.
This afternoon it meant nothing from the scoreboard standpoint, as the Seahawks, after building up a 23-0 lead, couldn't get a break. And the Patriots, fired up by the play of quarterback Tony Eason, came out smoking on offense and defense. Now it's 2nd down and 10 as Craig is ready to throw for the end zone again. 3-man rush, home run ball. Rick Sanford intercepts at the 2-yard line, and that will do it. 1:02 to play, and the Patriots take over, looking to run out the clock.
Turner, you would hope the rookie would make sure that it's not an interception. He just basically let the New England Patriots intercept that ball. Rick Sanford was more than obliging. Well, we talked about the problems of Franco Harris. How about this young man's day? 20 carries, 107 yards. He was the leading rusher coming into the ball game, and he got most of those yards in the second half.
Tony Cutlin's one of 16 children from East Carolina, 3rd-round draft choice.
He must have been the littlest. That's why he turned out to be such a great runner.
Comes from Penn Yan, New York.
From where?
Penn Yan, New York. One day I said I thought it was in western New York State, and I got about 4 pounds of material from the Penn Yan Chamber of Commerce.
Where is it?
Somewhere in the Finger Lakes area.
Ah.
However, 1:02 left to play. 38-23. New England in the lead. Ready to open up a 2-1 start. Seahawks will go home 2-1 as Tony Eason puts his head down, and the clock ticks on. I'll tell you one thing you can count on from a Chuck Knox team and a Seahawks team. They'll come out next week like they won here today, coming to 23 points.
You're right.
They won't be down.
But I tell you what, you're going to see an awful lot of teams now playing the Seahawks with 5 and 6 defensive backs. And until Seattle can prove to their opponent that they can consistently run the football, yards are going to come tough to this team.
Football when the New England Patriots host the Washington
He's going to do it. 28 seconds and counting. It's Ron Meyer, who had to be wondering what kind of a year he had ahead of him when he saw his team just totally inept in the first half. Now sees them rally to the greatest comeback win in the history of the franchise.
Don, you know what turned this team around? Think about the beginning of the second half. A 50-yard pass interference penalty and a 50-yard unsportsmanlike conduct out of bounds, and suddenly New England is back in the ball game.
Now that's the end of the battle. That's over and done with. Congratulations, and on to the next week. It'll be interesting. Bob Trumpy, this is Don Cricky with the final score here at Sullivan Stadium. New England 38, Seattle 23.